individual in relation to this. I don't need you to catch a case.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Of course.
So please stop talking to the counselors.
Respect, Your Honor. Respect.
All right. Don't catch a case, man. All right. Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Johnson, was that vehicle stolen? The red vehicle?
It did have signs of.
I'm gonna object on relevance. That charge is not at play here.
All right. Rebuttal.
Yeah, Your Honor. Just because the defendant is not appealing a joyriding or car theft charge, that doesn't make this fact not relevant. I mean, again, this is a vehicle that he was found inside of subsequent or prior to when he was later discovered with the firearm. So determining the condition of the vehicle to potentially corroborate further testimony is certainly relevant. I mean, all of this was on the scene, so it is inherently relevant.
May I respond, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Thank you. He's not being charged with anything to do with the vehicle. On the report, we only have one criminal possession of a firearm, like a government-issued firearm. There are no additional charges, so I do not see the status of the vehicle as relevant.
Okay. I'm going to make a ruling. I'm going to say that due to the fact that Mr. K was inside of said vehicle, that could be of pertinence to the matter at hand, the specific charge at hand, as he was inside of the vehicle during, as testified to by Mr. Johnson, then I am going to go ahead and overrule that objection.
All
it
right.
is wholly relevant that the person inside the vehicle might be included in charges set with said vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and overrule.
But there are no charges with the vehicle.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But there's no
Mr.
charges.
Johnson?
That's not the charge.
Do
You
I
only
repeat
charge.
the
Okay,
question?
whatever.
Yes, please.
Certainly. Was that vehicle stolen?
It did have signs of tampering. It was flagged as stolen.
All right. And did you investigate the scene?
To an extent, yes.
All right. Did you talk to any other witnesses?
Let me just take a look at the statement.
Mhm.
Just me. Judge's rule. Sense. Said it wasn't relevant. He said it was relevant to the whatever to the charges at hand, but there's literally no charge for joyriding or GTA or nothing.
Do you want to? I made a cool drawing of you and K as dragons spitting fire.
So I
Drawing a
did,
picture of a dragon.
however, contact a Mary Mushkin
I want to see.
is that prior? Well,
Peeks over.
after the
It's a
fact
cool picture.
to figure out what was going on, so I could make sure she was okay. And she did give up a name as to who was on that red and color motorcycle. This is in the report. So I did talk to a Mary Mushkin about the situation. I mean, you know.
All right.
But,
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Ms. Control, he was going to ask you a couple questions. All right.
Did she notice of appearance?
Okay. Hey there, Mr. Johnson. Where was Mr. Kevin located within the vehicle? You mentioned seeing him inside.
The player, the
was
person
Mr.
who's doing
Kevin?
Abilene right now is the role
Mr.
player
K.
who played Griswaldo.
Oh, okay.
Grunberto Griswaldstein. They played Grizz
he was in the red car. What was the question? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
in 3.0.
Where was he located within that vehicle, Mr. Johnson?
He was in the front driver's seat.
How long did he remain in that seat?
Well, I cannot give you the exact time.
Objection, Your
So-
Honor. Speculation. He wouldn't know as he arrived on scene with him already in that position.
Rebuttal.
The rebuttal would be if he arrived on scene and he was in that position. I'm asking how long he remained on that position. His answer could be, I don't know. You know, he could answer to this, Your Honor. We feel.
The objection to speculation is going to be sustained. I believe you can ask that a little bit better.
Be more specific.
In terms of how long that could open up a speculative answer. So I will say sustained, but try to ask it better.
Mr. Johnson, did Mr. K remain in that seat for the duration of your presence?
Bro, somebody fucking shoot me.
He stayed in a seat until he was taken out. I mean, well, you know, it so from the time that I arrived to vehicles leaving, he was taken out by Mr. Ramey. I mean, I can't tell you the exact time length on that. Like, I can't tell you the exact time. I didn't stop. You know, there was no stopwatch, nothing going on. Not being smart, just saying I I cannot tell you the appropriate time for that.
Okay. Where was Mr. Rami located within your statement when you first cited him?
He was maybe 2 car lengths south of where Mr. K's body was found.
And in your presence, did he move from that position?
Yes.
What did he do?
Well, first he was being drugged. Then I turned my back to see, go find out what the other individuals were. And he did, I believe, again, I'm not 100% sure. He was running back towards me, coming from the northern end. So again, like I said, I want to just make sure I provide full context. I did turn my back, so I'm not 100% sure. But I know he was coming back down to tell me like, hey, these people shot at me,
cartoons.
So then he ran back up again, and that's why I seen him get Mr. K out of the vehicle.
Did he successfully remove Mr. K from the vehicle?
Good foundation laying. I can't object to this.
Yes, I believe so.
Apparently,
I believe so.
They searched them before.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, in your statement,
they GSR tested him,
you mentioned
and then
the one
searched them when it was
person
negative.
from a white
It's
and colored
bullshit. I'm gonna
vehicle.
be
You mentioned outside the vehicle.
That.
How far was that individual from the white vehicle?
I have a little bird.
He was like
whispering
maybe
stuff to me.
2 cornwoods from that vehicle.
How long did that person remain outside that vehicle?
Maybe 15 to 30 seconds. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe 15 to 30 seconds, maybe.
Did that person approach the red vehicle?
It is relevant as good questions are asking in the timeline.
I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so. I think they got into the white vehicle.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. One moment. The state has nothing further for this. Prosecution has nothing further for this witness, Your Honor.
Waiting for you to tell me it's ready to cross. You ready for cross, Your Honor?
I am ready for cross.
All right. Hi, Mr. Johnson. You said you witnessed a motorcycle on scene when Mr. K was incapacitated in the car. Was it driving away?
It was 2 of them. One wasn't. One was right next to where Mr. K bodies was, and the other one was coming south to the south towards where I'm at. It was leaving the area.
It was leaving the area. Okay, thank you. Did you have any hand in creating the report, the police report?
Yes, I did.
Do you know why Rami's witness statement was omitted from the report?
Oh, that's whoa! I didn't know his statement was. What does omitted mean? What does that mean?
Left out.
Oh no! We're big on integrity. There's no. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't hear anything about that.
Okay, and just to be
Integrity.
clear, you said you witnessed Mr. K being incapacitated. Is that correct?
Well, I witnessed him, dead in the car. That's what I wear. I don't know what
alright.
incapacitated means.
Did he receive medical care?
I cannot recall that. To be honest with you, I think the medic showed up. Yeah. No, I think the medics came. The medics came.
Okay, you said in your prior testimony that you had wanted to get medical services there, so I just wanted to see whether or not they did arrive. Thank you for that. Were the other individuals, such as Mary Mushkin and Dahlia Faye, mentioned in the police report, GSR tested?
Well, I'm not 100% sure they were there. I spotted what seemed like I thought was her vehicle, and I think it might have came back to her vehicle. I'm not 100% sure. I know I contacted her after that, but I don't think she stated she did say she was there. She did say she was there. I'm just trying to recall so I'm not, accused of lying. I don't think, to my knowledge, anybody else was GSR test. I believe Rami and Mr. K was. I'm not 100% sure.
What was the result of that GSR test?
I believe they said they came back negative, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm not, found wrong of line or anything, integrity. But I believe it was negative.
I will point out the evidence where there is a negative GSR test in the police report. Was the medical care interrupted for any reason?
I believe they stopped to do something. I believe they stopped to frisk him, maybe. I believe they stopped to frisk him. I'm not 100% sure, though. Damn, I wish I just had some better memory, man. But I believe they stopped the
Do you
frisk,
recall?
Mr. K.
Do you recall which happened first, the frisk or the GSR test?
I think it was the GS. I can't recall. I'm not even gonna answer that. I just can't recall.
Okay. But you're saying you do believe medical care is interrupted. Do you think it's acceptable to interrupt medical care for police procedure?
Not at all. Integrity.
Your Honor.
I'll hear it.
He's not
Well,
an
you don't like the
expert on the
truth?
medical matter.
I can rebut, but I'll wait for you to ask.
Go ahead and rebut.
I'm asking him his opinion, which he is well qualified to give. I'm not asking for an
interesting,
expert opinion. I'm just asking for his opinion as a man.
Go ahead and rebut for that prosecution.
I mean, we can ask his opinion. That's fine.
Opinion is the definition of speculation unless he's an expert witness in the matter, Your Honor.
Can we get a translator?
That was
For
a
who?
lot of vocal fry for
I
me.
can't understand what she's saying.
Okay, I can understand it.
I
Thank
think I
you.
can understand. Oh, you speak the same language?
I'll give
Not
one
fine.
rebuttal,
She's
which
fine.
is that if that's the case, then there's no point in ever having any person on the witness stand ever that's not an expert witness.
Okay, hold on, because we just went through like 5 different arguments.
Yeah.
Well, rebuttal, Your Honor. They could have
What'd you
called the
say?
EMS or treated
I was
Mr.
gonna
K
say,
on scene
isn't
and
it
asked
his
that question.
capacity
Did I
as an
ask for another
officer that
argument?
he should be able to argue their
Yeah,
Calm
sit
down.
down.
Yeah,
at
sit
the
down.
time
Yeah.
their
Your Honor, you see the back and
SOPs
forth?
regarding medical
I see
treatment?
the back
We
and
don't
forth
bring up
from
Right?
SOPs in the
here.
courtroom.
Thank you.
Okay, okay.
That's
See,
why.
I'm
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
just-
yeah.
just
Yeah, we
because
don't
you
bring
want
that
to
up.
doesn't mean you
And we
can be
keep the
emotional.
mechanics
Stop
to
my
Hayes and
medical
Autos,
treatment.
and I guess Mosley's now.
Hold
Got
on.
it.
Okay, Are you ready? Are you good, Ms. Thoroughbred?
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you, Your Honor.
As to the motion, I'm going to go ahead and overrule. I think he was the main officer on scene. He's allowed to give his expert testimony as to his procedure and how is he elected to do procedure. That is not a medical testimony. However, that can be decided at a later date. But as it stands for his testimony specifically, I would say that is going to be overturned.
All right, lad.
Yes, you may answer the question.
I'll ask the question again just so it's clear for him. Do you think it's
Yes.
acceptable to interrupt medical care for police procedure?
Coming from a former combat medic in the United States Army, Sergeant Major Hood, I do think that it's not acceptable to stop medical to perform a police procedure. In my opinion, that is expert. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, give me one moment. You got anything else you want to ask him?
No, you cooked. That was great.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. No additional questions for this witness at this time, Your Honor. However, we will be marking him for recall.
All right. Redirects from prosecution.
Yeah, Mr. Johnson, I just want to clarify. Can frisks be necessary to ensure officer safety?
Oh my
You
god,
said
an
can
incapacitated
frisk?
person.
Yeah.
Necessary
Yeah, you
That's
can go
right.
back on
to ensure
Oh,
officer
God.
safety?
That's right.
I mean, it depends on the context.
Good answer.
Okay, but do you generally agree with that statement?
It depends. Yeah, to me personally, it has to be some type of threat, some type of reasoning to make me feel like I may be, or I have to be able to articulate officer safety. You just can't feel. You have to be able to articulate. It's a difference.
That's right, bitch.
Okay. Is officer safety important on a scene like this?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. And I also want to clarify, at the time that the medical care was stopped, was the defendant conscious?
I was handcuffed.
I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure. I was not primarily on that. I believe that was another officer that was dealing with the incapacitated individual.
Well, let
As
me
I
get
was a-
this straight. Did you have anything to do with providing medical care to the defendant?
Oh no, I didn't have anything to do with providing medical
Alright.
care to the defendant.
So can you, I mean, you can't speak on what should or shouldn't have happened in providing the defendant with medical care. Isn't
Objection,
that
Your
right?
Honor. Oliver Hull sounds really smarmy again.
Okay, I can sound smarmy too.
Yeah, but it's cute
overruled.
when you do it. It's not cute when. Okay, I'll be quiet. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Go ahead. Oliver.
Oh, thank you. What was the answer to my question, Mr. Johnson?
What was your question?
I mean,
I'm
you
bar
weren't providing
complaining against
medical
Oliver
care, so you
again.
can't speak to what should or shouldn't have been done for the defendant.
You,
Is that
you,
right?
You're asking a former sergeant major that did combat medic tours if it's acceptable for them to stop medical treatment to perform a police procedure. Yes, I can speak on that. Yes, I can.
Okay. Give me one more.
Yeah.
Miss Thoroughbred, I think so.
You're so
They
quiet.
did this. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
They established that you can they need to frisk for police safety, and he says it's depending on context. I don't know if you're allowed additional
Thank
additional
you,
question,
thank
but
Your Honor.
Not right now,
context
but
of an
that's why we're
individual-
recalling him. What's your
yeah,
context?
I was
there?
gonna say
there
an
it is done.
individual
Mr.
incapacitated is
Johnson, please
Presents
sit
no
back.
risk.
Witness stand,
Presents
you are
no
not
risk.
needed at this time.
Exactly.
However, you are
Yes,
up
that's
for
what we're gonna ask him
recall.
on recall.
If provided by the defense, you will need to remain in the courtroom at this time. Okay.
Okay, cool. What concession, boy? I need something to eat. Hey,
Concessions. Raise your hand.
get some
Yeah, me
chips.
too.
Just walk
I need some food over here.
Who's got the
Food in the
concession?
waiting room.
Food and water.
Go over there and come back.
Your
Your
Honor,
Honor,
I
can I get a waiter over
Thank
here?
Yep.
No one took my order yet, and I need food and water.
Yep. Go ahead, flight attendant. Please step up to people, individuals. Yep.
What do you
now's
guys
the
got on
time
the
to do
menu
so.
tonight?
I do it for the
We
for the
got
for the
chips.
people.
We got 2 types of candy bars.
You have
All
beef
right.
Wellington.
Water and an energy drink.
With that being
What would you like
said, we
today?
are ready
Can
to
I
move
get
to
some
the
chips and a
prosecution.
water?
Drink
thank
and
you,
2
Your Honor.
bags of
State
chips.
calls Captain Slacks to the stand.
I want the same thing as
Ready.
Mr.
Ready.
K.
Remember,
Ready to
Slacks,
do so.
integrity, all right, buddy?
Captain Slacks, please
Integrity,
raise your
Slacks,
left
don't
hand.
lie.
I'm gonna put this on the table for you.
Honor,
Captain Slacks,
commitment.
do you?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You said 2
Oh
bags
no,
of
you
chips?
can do your
Yeah.
credo.
Oh, I was saying honor, integrity, respect, inspire.
And water on
Is there
top
any
of
more?
that too, right?
That's what I
You
believe.
kind of
in.
ended on a question. You kind of ended on a question, so I thought there was
There you
more.
go, sir.
And the
Anyways,
acronym
that's
doesn't
all.
make sense. It's Harry.
That's all.
Alright.
Yeah.
Harry
Do you
Would you like to say
swear
something
and
as well?
affirm that
Yes,
the
please.
testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So
Thank
help
you.
you, Matt. Period.
Oh, I
I
did
do.
not. Did I get that? I did. Okay.
All right. The witness is sworn in.
Period.
And then chip.
I go to proceed, Your Honor.
Look. Honor, could you
Yeah.
give me like 30 seconds to just chug this? Look.
There you go.
Ooh, I'll eat my food.
We can go ahead and continue while you chug. Yes, and try not to sound as smarmy.
Go over and
Was
under.
that directed to me, Your Honor, or
Yes,
Thoroughbred?
yes, to you. Yes, to
It
you.
was to you,
Absolutely
Oliver.
counter
Me?
over and under 5.
Can we get a definition of what smarmy is for the court?
Snarky, condescending.
I certainly don't think I've been
Looks
sounding
like
that
Slacks
way
and you have a lot of
in
comms,
this
huh?
proceeding, Your Honor.
Basically like a douche.
Certainly been others, but
It's like
Certainly
being
refute that I
smug
have.
warmly.
Okay.
This is
I understand
unjust.
smug. All right, go ahead and proceed with the questioning.
all right, thank you, Your
Picks a
Honor.
potato chip and eats
Captain,
it.
how we doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking.
All right. Did you respond to this scene on the 29th?
Yes.
All right. And how did you first become involved?
I was one of the backup units. It was myself and Captain Ruth.
All right. And what did you see once you got there?
When I got on the scene, I saw 2 individuals. One being somebody being dragged on the ground, another one dragging him from a red Tesla, a Surge, some sort of a hybrid vehicle.
All right. And right, how
Oh,
long
if
did
you
it
went on
take you
longer
to
than
get
that,
to
I was
the
going
scene?
to object on narrative. Good job on your
I
testimony.
responded for Mr. Opity,
Sob.
so
Good
roughly
job.
2 minutes.
Okay. And can you just point out the individuals that you saw dragging on the scene?
That would be Rami Al-Rahman.
All right. So what was Mr. Al-Rahman doing?
He was dragging a body from left to right, moving from the left sidewalk to the right sidewalk, but he was dragging the body next to the vehicle. So he was moving an individual away from a vehicle from the left side of the street to the right side of the street toward the church side of Jamestown.
All right. And who was that individual?
And Mr. Kevin.
All right. And what did you do once you got to the scene?
Detain Rami.
All right. And why did you detain him?
Wow.
Because we responded to reports of shots fired. I wasn't sure what happened.
Okay. And did you ask
Why
him any
wasn't
questions?
everyone else detained?
I did.
All right. And what did he say?
I would prefer to the statement I taken down as far as what I recall that Rami mentioned. Because, like I said, it happened a long time ago, and I don't want to provide information I don't remember.
All right, I gotcha. And did he tell you, to the best of your recollection, that there were other individuals that planted a gun on the defendant?
He mentioned something along the lines of Mr. K being kidnapped.
All right, but I guess just to clarify, did he mention that he saw a gun being planted?
Iced coffee should win the poll. I wish I could vote.
Like I said, I'll refer to the statement I taken from Rami because I don't remember that part.
Okay, no, certainly. All right, did he mention anything else to the best of your recollection?
He mentioned
Stood out to you?
motorcycles. He mentioned individuals trying to kidnap Kay and him. He mentioned he was held up on the sidewalk on the left side. They were brandishing melee weapons, and a few of them on the bike had a gun too as well.
Okay. And what did you do after you talked to Mr. Aram?
Well, it was very difficult to tell Rami. It was a shouting match between me and him. I was trying to figure out because there was a lot going on. And he was also mentioning there was an active threat, gunmen running behind the houses of a Mary Mushkin, and also pointing out to a lot of people being around. So it was very hard to control the scene because there was a lot going on.
I see. So Mr. Araman resisted your detainment?
Did not. He was moving around. I was trying to just understand what happened so we could proceed with our investigation.
Okay. Was he being uncooperative?
I would say a bit combative.
Classic.
All right. And did you feel like he was holding anything back from you when he provided that
Should have
statement?
fucking asked if that was.
Objection.
Objection, Your Honor. More prejudicial than probative.
Rebuttal.
Oh, good shit.
I'm not entirely
I
sure
know
how
the
this
shit.
is more prejudicial than probative. I'm simply asking the witness his read on the credibility of the statement provided by Mr. Araman. So,
Rebuttal.
I mean,
Go ahead.
oh, sorry, that was all, Your Honor.
I don't feel like.
Rebuttal.
Do I need to? Do I need to?
Go ahead.
Quite literally asking a prejudicial, biased question that provides no evidentiary value. I honestly meant to object on the question before as well, but I was quiet, so I cede that one. Obviously, I missed my opportunity, but on this one, I am hardline.
Can I respond, Your Honor?
I'm gonna, yeah, that's in it. I'm gonna say because you didn't object to that last question, that kind of opens it up. However,
It's super biased.
I am going to sustain that objective because I don't feel like that we would be getting anything substantial from that question being asked. So that's going to be
Precisely.
sustained.
Oh, certainly, Your Honor. I'm happy to move on. All right, so Captain, what happened after you took that statement?
Your Honor, I'm being distracted by Rami's tweets. My phone's going off.
Oh my god, you're a little bitch. Oh my
Your
god.
Honor, we would
hear that?
just ask
You
that
hear
he mute his notifications while he's on the stand, as that is really unseemly for him to be receiving, information while on the witness stand.
That kind of falls
Disconnect
on
to
you,
connect,
Mr.
you know?
Slacks.
Kids these days.
That falls on
Your
you,
Honor.
Slacks. That
Your
falls
Honor,
on you.
Oh my god, I'm a pussy.
You hear this?
What the
Ra-
fuck?
Rami.
Oh, sorry.
Rami?
You hear
That
this?
wasn't me. That was
You are what you-
Zolo.
You hear this?
Yeah.
Unprofessional. I'm gonna file a bar complaint after this.
Go ahead. Please do
That
it.
is
Go,
up to you.
Malton's right over there.
Rami, no more swear
Mullet's
words.
right over
No more
there.
pussy.
Sir, Your Honor.
He
Okay.
sure
Is
is.
pussy a swear word, though?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Sorry, Your Honor. I'm a vagina.
It's a beautiful bodily function that creates.
In my
life,
culture,
sir.
we just say
That's
cunt,
all
and
we
it's
all
not a
got here,
swear
Your Honor.
word.
Amen.
It's just
That's all we got
slang.
here.
It's a fantastic.
Yep.
feeling.
Oh my god,
If
Your
you
Honor.
said
That
that
vagina's
word-
closing up.
Did you just say that's the only god
That's what
here?
slack
Pussy's
sounds like.
your-
No, that I said that's all we got here. That's how we got here. We spawned that way.
If you're going to refer to a female anatomy, say that her hair
Hear this
looks nice.
motherfucker?
Thank you.
Literally lying on the fucking stand.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
I am for the people. All right. That falls upon you, Slacks. I'm not.
Not
I'm
that we
not
looked
telling
like
you how to
matchsticks
decide.
when our
right
head
now.
was
I'm
shaved
gonna
against
remove-
our will.
Just remove your phone.
That's
from yourself.
despicable coming from a captain, I must say.
Mr. K, can I tell you, a cop called me Shabod when I got my
fantastic.
head
Can we
shaved
proceed?
and when I was
No, I
kidnapped.
saw Slacks jerking off in his cruiser.
I believe it. I believe it. That's
Mr.
public
K, I could hear
indecency.
that.
Oh my bad. I didn't mean to yell.
Oh, he was
Your
supposed to be
Honor, Your
whispering.
Honor, I'd like to also point out I'm a witness. I'm not operating under the bar here. So there can't be no bar complaints.
Very well.
Thank you, Rami.
All right.
You should
can
see
we
Siobhan
go
as
ahead
a
and
witness,
repeat
like
that
Karen
last
and
question that was
cry.
being said?
I'll
Just
be
start
honest,
from-
Your Honor, I
start
sort of
from-
forget what I asked with all those.
Start from the combative. He answered yes to the combative question.
Yeah,
start from there.
certainly. What happened after you took that statement, Captain?
I told Rami to remain in the area because I was trying to figure out what happened exactly. And I was trying to get all the officers to huddle up to investigate further to figure out what transpired, who's the aggressor, and who's the victim.
I think he was just leading and it's the objection.
All right. And did you come to a conclusion as to who was the aggressor and victim?
It was very difficult because we had two parties saying conflicting stories as far as who is the aggressor.
They didn't detain the other party. What's he
All
saying?
right. And what conclusion have you come to? Is it that you can't say for certain who was the aggressor?
I'm a witness right now. Yeah, I
This helps us.
I can't say for
Objection.
certain, no.
Argumentative.
No, that helps us. Don't object just because you can. That helps us.
sorry.
We're gonna
rebuttal?
withdraw that objection.
Okay.
We want the question answered.
Sorry, I sneezed.
You had a sneeze. That sounded like an objection.
All right.
They keep fucking it up.
That's a very talented sneeze.
That
All right.
was a good objection,
Continue.
though, right?
Go ahead and ask.
No, him saying they can't pay for certain means that they don't. The PD couldn't even fucking
yeah, so I
decide
just
beyond
wanna
a reasonable
clarify.
doubt. Like, are you kidding me?
Could
That
you
just
determine
fucking.
whether or
He's
not the
introducing
defendant was
reasonable
the
doubt for
aggressor?
us.
Oh.
As far as what?
Shooting that transpired?
Objection, Your Honor. Confusing, or vague. Can you just be more specific with this whole
I
question?
agree. Yeah, I agree. You can phrase that question a little bit better. That will be sustained.
Poor Oliver. He's got my gloves off right
Based
now.
on your investigation and the conclusion that you drew, were you able to determine whether or not the defendant was the aggressor?
Based on investigation and the prior incident, as far as what happened in this incident involving the defendant,
That's a good note.
I believe there's a back and forth.
When I was a
just
judge, if you objected and it
don't
hurt your case, I used to give it to you to teach you a
confirmation
lesson
say
to not
for-
object just
without a
because you
shadow of
can.
doubt that person is aggressor.
It was a
I
fire
see.
objection.
But based on your evidence, did the defendant contribute to the shooting?
He was GSR negative.
Okay. In any other respect other than him shooting a firearm, did he contribute?
One of the witnesses on scene claimed that he had a gun.
All right. And was he? Give me one moment.
Well, actually, this is the time for me to do something. Your Honor, defense actually has a motion at this time based on the testimony that has been provided about the GSR test being negative and then being searched anyway thereafter. We would like to motion to strike the gun and possessions of Mr. K in evidence as fruit of the poisonous tree.
Your Honor, he was patted down.
I don't need to hear from you.
Your Honor, my
Rebuttal?
vagina's closing up again.
You hear
Yes,
this, Your Honor?
certainly, Your Honor.
Is he okay?
As far as the motion to suppress, the gun was lawfully obtained in that the defendant was present on the scene of a shooting. There is inherently a reasonable belief from the officers. We can certainly follow up and ask Officer Slacks, and actually the officer that conducted the frisk and the GSR test, whether or not there was a reasonable belief that he was armed at the time, because there was. He was on the scene of a shooting. Just because there was a negative GSR test does not necessarily mean officers were safe or could verify they were safe. They conducted a frisk, and that frisk, again, contributed to the idea that there was a risk to officer safety and that the defendant was armed. Just because the GSR test was negative doesn't mean that he wasn't armed and didn't present a risk to officers.
I have one response, Your Honor, just
Yep.
one.
Just one.
An incapacitated man on the ground who has no control over his body presents no risk to officer safety. That's all.
Especially when they're handcuffed.
Yeah, especially when they're handcuffed.
Dumbasses.
Give me some time to rule
Okay,
over
yep,
this
take your
motion.
time. When that's gone, the entire case falls apart and they just lost. Let's see what he does.
How can an incapacitated man that's handcuffed be a
Uh-huh.
threat? It's crazy.
Yep. Let's just see what happens.
You on this shit, Siobhan? That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I do. That's what I do, Mr. K. People don't, because I always did serial killer cases, but I got serial killer cases with 36 reports on the fucking docket, off back on them streets killing.
That's what I'm fucking talking
I
about.
didn't realize that I'm fucking hardcore.
Yes, fucking right.
I don't happen. Somehow I'm crouched and I can't uncrouch.
All right, counselors, I'm going to go ahead and say that I will keep this motion in mind. However, I believe we are going into Terry v. Ohio stances being put here. and that is something that can be more so weighed in deliberation as
Okay.
opposed to right now in the motion striking.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I will go ahead. I will put that
He is still
motion
gonna consider
in
it.
regards.
He's putting
However,
it-
that is we are still able to proceed. With
He's
the
just
motion
noting it
of,
and he's gonna put it into
or
lib. That's fine.
with the questioning of
I'm okay with
the
this.
witness at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cool.
All right, Judge.
Captain Slacks,
Absolutely still a dub.
you stated Rami mentioned Mr. K being kidnapped. Did you see evidence of a kidnapping?
He stated that they were trying to place him in the car to kidnap him.
He was literally.
Was it alleged by any witness that this scene was the scene of the alleged
Rami was a
attempted kidnapping?
witness.
The only witness to corroborate that story, I believe, is Arami and Mr. K.
Was it ever alleged by any witness that the arrival of police thwarted said kidnapping?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
Rebuttal.
Your Honor, one could presume by the statements that he said that they came upon them. In his previous answer, they were attempting to be kidnapped. Police arrived. Apparently, no kidnapping was completed. And I'm trying to get to the root if anyone even mentioned to police. Thank you.
My final response is keyword presume.
Yeah, you did say presume.
Yep.
Presume in the sense that I'm looking for his answer.
You were not asked
Your
to
Honor,
speak
but I
again.
can attempt to rephrase if you.
Yeah, you're looking for the
decide to
answer and you were
decide.
giving it. It was
I
leading.
think you can attempt to rephrase that because.
Go ahead and rephrase. Thank
yeah,
you.
You saying presume in your argument is not exactly helping you out, and you're to refer to the report. You're not exactly speaking to the witness's experience himself. Okay, so you can rephrase that in a better that is going to be sustained.
Captain Slacks. Did police thwart this kidnapping?
Can you define thwart?
Stop it from completing.
Define thwart.
I was. That's a good question.
I'm gonna object on speculation now.
Rebuttal.
Your Honor, as we established in Foundation, Captain Slacks.
I'm not objecting on Lax
took witness
Foundation. I'm
statements that
objecting on
alleged kidnapping.
speculation.
That was the scene of the kidnapping. Police arrived. However, the person that was alleged to be kidnapping was still
you
there,
for the sub, I'm
indicating they
guessing.
were not kidnapped.
Like I said in my statement.
I don't need to hear you. I don't need to hear you. Counselor Thoroughbred, do you have a rebuttal?
Anything about kidnapping? Even in the report?
I'm sorry. Do I need to, Your Honor? I'm just gonna say what I said before. Just gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to overrule the objection. The prior
That's
question,
fine.
the previous question, was this the scene of the kidnapping? As referring to the scene, the main scene. And it was testified to that the only two that were corroborated were Mr. K and Robbie. I think that opens up the speculation tree just a little bit to allow for more questions regarding the kidnapping.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Which was being corroborated.
One more
in,
note,
the
Mickey.
next question.
Sometimes you
So I'm gonna
object
go ahead
knowing
and
your
overrule that. You
objection
may
is
ask
going
the
to be
question again if you'd
overruled,
like.
and it's not.
Captain
It's not for
Slacks.
any purpose other than to put that
did
idea
officers
in the judge's
arrival
mind. So
thwart
when they're
this
deliberating,
kidnapping?
they're like, but that could have
Don't
been
say
the
thwart.
case. It's reasonable doubt
Say what you said
introducing.
before.
Did officers' arrival stop the completion of this kidnapping?
I would believe so, based on the evidence I have.
Also, do you ever just object to kind of like
What
Throw them
evidence
off.
is that?
Like object to
The
throw them
fact
off.
that,
Need you
or-
to
the
no,
fact
let's say
that
that
Mr.
let's
K
say
was
they're
still
on
in
a
the
big
vehicle
yak and,
because
and they're kind of cooking and
Rami
you just
did
object just to
tell me
fun.
that.
Oh yeah, you just start
that we're
objecting to
trying
throw
to
them
use
off the
that vehicle
groove.
to kidnap
100%.
Hell yeah.
Rami does that. I tend to not do that against only against certain lawyers. Certain
which
lawyers I
vehicle
will do
were
that
they
for.
trying to use to kidnap him?
The red Tesla.
This helps us.
Is that the red Tesla from previous witness statements of
Correct.
Officer Johnson that stated Mr. K was in the driver's seat?
Correct.
Do you know if kidnappers intended Mr. K to drive his own kidnapping?
That's not for me to speculate on.
Okay, one moment, Your Honor.
There was no Tesla.
That question made her so bad.
They don't even have the right car.
Yeah, that was
The fact that he had to call her out.
It has
like,
nothing
I'm
further,
gonna
Your Honor.
speculate what the
All right. Interesting. Defense.
You mentioned that you had conflicting stories in your prior testimony there, or Captain Slacks. I want to ask the question now. Did you have prosecutorial discretion on pressing these charges against Mr. K?
One more time, the last part.
Yeah, did you have prosecutorial discretion in this case?
Objection. Calls for a conclusion.
Rebuttal.
I'm quite literally asking in his capacity as a police officer whether or not he had discretion. I am not calling for him to make any sort of legal conclusion. I'm simply asking whether or not he exercised his officer discretion in his capacity as an officer.
Yep, that cleared it up for me. That's going to be overruled.
Yes, I do.
Okay, did you make the decision to charge Mr. K?
Not in the beginning.
Okay, why?
Did not have evidence to support probable cause of possession.
Why did you change your mind?
First, I got a call from one of the witnesses stating that they did not want to testify in court regarding this matter.
Oh.
However, it was figured out that one of the officers did take in a statement regarding the witness and what transpired.
Let me ask this quick question. What did you personally witness Mr. K in an incapacitated state?
I witnessed him being dragged on the sidewalk.
Okay. Did he appear incapacitated to you at that time while being dragged?
Yes, bleeding from a gunshot wound.
Oh, okay. So you did see a gunshot wound. Did he receive
did.
medical care?
He did.
Was his medical care interrupted for any reason?
What I know, because my back was turned, I was dealing with Rami, is
Objection.
he was...
Calls for speculation.
Interesting. Go ahead and rebut to that.
I do not see asking him whether or not something occurred or did not occur on scene is speculation. I'm asking him to answer to the best of his ability. I'm not asking him for him to speculate.
Rebuttal from prosecution.
Prosecution would state that the question of him knowing if it was interrupted for any reason would give him inside knowledge of medical professionals, any reason they would need to stop care, and so on and so on. And we do not believe any EMS staff that were involved in the medical care or any medical professionals.
I'm not
involved in
asking on whether or
care
not
involved
medical
with
care
witnesses today, Your
professionals
Honor.
interrupted it.
Okay, I see that
My
we're going
response is
into the
lol.
same argument with the medical care that we did with Mr. Johnson. It's kind of funny because Mr. Slacks was just about to go on about how he turned his back, which absolutely would have been speculation. However, in the last question, he did say that he did attend to the medical care that was provided on scene. So I'm going to overrule because of that aforementioned last statement. Kind of a funny situation there. But yeah, that's going to be overruled. He was allowed to answer the question.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you need me to repeat it, Captain?
Yeah.
Was his medical care interrupted for any reason?
Like I said, I was dealing with Rami as my,
That's okay.
detainee. I was trying to figure out. However, I do recall afterwards when trying to figure out what happened, I notified all officers, detain everybody on scene. Everybody should be GSR tested and frisked. So I do believe that Mr. Kevin was pulled out of the ambo and then patted down for a weapon.
Pulled out of the ambo to be patted down. Okay. Was the
Correct.
GSR test negative?
It was.
Okay, was anybody else GSR tested on scene?
Rami was.
Okay, you said that you had for everyone on scene to be GSR tested. Was Mary Mushkin not included?
Not everybody on scene, as far as being a suspect, was GSR tested and detained.
Okay. Not everybody was, as far as being a suspect, was a GSR tested and detained. Thank you. Do you think it's acceptable to interrupt medical care for police procedure?
Medical care should be first,
Objection.
then police.
He answered already.
Please, yeah, I'm gonna say this now. Please allow some 2-3 seconds to allow for objections to be ruled for.
Apologies, my apologies.
Yes, objection.
Okay, I am.
Opinion of a layperson regarding if interruption of medical care is appropriate is not for Captain Slacks to answer as a police officer.
Rebuttal.
My rebuttal is going to be the same as last time, that I am asking him his opinion as a man, and I do think that that should be heard in this courtroom. I'm also going to add the additional thing that while he is not a medical professional, he has the ability to interrupt medical care, and thusly it is not just relevant to the facts at hand, but his opinion is therefore also quite literally valuable and evidentiary.
Rebuttal.
Rebuttal, then, if this is simply an opinion and he's not an expert in medical matters, calls for speculation, Your Honor.
All right, I'm just going to
Okay,
rebut
I'm
this.
gonna-
You good? I don't need to?
I'm
You
gonna
want
end
me
it
to?
there. I'm gonna end
Okay.
it there.
All right,
I'm
thank
gonna
you, Your
end
Honor.
Okay. As to the calling of the layperson, I'm going to say we went through the same questioning with Mr. Johnson. I do believe that in some shape or form that this medical care would be administered or adhered to or supervised or anything of the sort by an officer that would be present. He answered to the previous question that he did attend to the medical care, as he stated before in his testimony. I don't see any reason to cut him off from this necessarily, and especially since we did the same thing with Mr. Johnson, we are more inclined to do the same thing here. So that is going to be overruled. You may answer the question.
I'll ask it again, Captain. Do you think it's acceptable to interrupt medical care for police procedure?
Like I said, preservation of life should be important.
Yeah, it
Then police
should.
work afterwards.
Right, thank you, Captain. Give me one moment to confer with my paralegal and my client. Anything else you think we should ask? Pretty satisfied with what we got. No.
Should we capitalize on the point of why the fuck he didn't detain anyone else? Why they ignored Johnson's
He
call?
literally
and let everyone else
testified on
go?
the stand that they did not detain and GSR test
it's
all of the
standard
possible
procedure.
suspects. I'm just
Yeah,
throwing
that's-
that into my closing argument. We don't need to do anything
Okay,
else.
yep.
I think it's
mean-
always good to end on a bombshell, and like you just got him right
Right.
there. That was great.
good.
All right, no further questions for this witness, Your Honor, and we will not be placing him under recall.
Oh, wait.
Nothing
Alright.
on redirect, Your
The
Honor.
car they
Nothing on
got was
redirect.
wrong.
All right.
Okay.
As
Oh,
it was
we're
said,
just gonna
so shall be
we
done.
point that out in closing,
Mr.
or
Slash,
highlight under
you
evidence
are
and
It's a
testimony.
surge, not a
witness
Tesla.
post,
Yeah.
and you are not being recalled, so you are free to leave. I'm assuming you do not want to, as this is.
Oh
still-
no, Your Honor, I got something after this I gotta deal with, so I'll stay
Oh.
right here.
All right.
One question:
fantastic.
why
Attorney
couldn't we just
relevant.
say
Oh,
your
yeah?
decision to stop
Thank
medical
you.
care is in your purview
All
because
right,
you're
your
captain of the
prosecution's
police
next
force,
witness.
right?
Thank
Isn't
you,
that?
Honor. State
Oh,
Oh,
call,
yeah,
absolutely.
you guys-
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that's what I was sort of alluding to, that he has absolutely the ability to stop medical care. So, like, his opinion on whether or not it's acceptable is highly important. We need to prioritize life before death.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I was alluding to it without spoon-feeding it to the judge, because some judges get kind of, when I was a judge, I'd get upset if you fucking spoon-fed shit, like pandering to me. Like, I know how to do my
you swear
job,
to
thank
tell
you.
the truth, the whole truth?
You know what I mean?
and
Some
nothing
judges
but the
need
truth?
that, and some don't.
So
It's
help you
just
to
kind
keep.
of figuring out what the judge in
I do,
question
yeah.
likes.
All right, very well. The witness
I would
is
do
sworn
it for
in.
the viewers,
Oh yeah.
like the
All
ones
of the
behind
people
us
in the
the
yeah, of
stands,
course, yeah, everyone in this. Yeah, no,
You
totally. I
may
got you.
Proceed.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Officer Gray, did you respond?
Kind of a natural at
to the
this, Mickey.
scene down on Jamestown, the 29th
I'm just trying to take
January?
notes.
Doing a great job.
Yes.
How did
Hey,
you
I
get
have a
involved?
100% rate of paralegals getting bar
I
licenses, by
was
the way.
one of the responding units who had been called upon to assist.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
still have like
And
a demon
what did you do once you got
full
down
to Ramiel Raman's law firm.
Upon
So, you know,
arriving,
You saw what?
we were on the
a
intersection.
demon
There was myself
contract
and
full bound
Yosek,
to Ramiel
who were
Raman's
partnered up
law firm.
Oh, you
on
okay?
the
Well, Rami and I were gonna
intersection
start
of
one, so
Jamestown and McDonald's. A
Well, then it's also your
motorcycle,
law firm. So
Yeah.
I believe it was
congratulations, I'll work
black,
for you.
crashed into us as they were leaving the area. They were circling that intersection. I pulled them over and spoke to them. They were identified as Barry Svensson, and I was informed by that individual that there was a man in the red car, in the driver's seat of the red car, who had held Jaeger up with a firearm. I relayed this over 311 for the responding units, as radio traffic was heavy, as we were trying to make sure that the area had no clear and obvious threat remaining to officers and people on scene at that time. So I 311'd it out, and then I assisted on scene with making sure that everything was safe.
All right. And who was this individual you got that statement from?
Barry Svensson.
All right. And how did you identify Mr. Svensson?
I had him flash me his ID, and he had a mask on at the time. He removed that mask so I could see his face.
I see. And can you just clarify? So he was on this motorcycle. What direction was he coming from?
He was circling in that intersection. So he was in the area of the scene, but he was sort of like going around in a circle, like a wide circle in the intersection. So it would be unclear for me to tell which direction he came from.
All right.
Mickey, I'm gonna send
And
you notes, okay?
what happened after you got that statement from him?
I 311'd it out to the other officers. I attended to the scene. I witnessed Rami walking around the scene. I was searching the backyards of the properties on that part of Jamestown for any hidden persons or any objects that had been thrown, anything like that. I then went back to the heart of the scene where other officers were attending to Mr. K and the vehicle that Mr. K was found in. I asked about the GSR results. I was told they were negative. I asked if he had been frisked due to the statement. At the same time,
Well,
Anita
let's stop you
said,
there. Why
Okay.
did you feel the need to frisk the defendant?
Retweet.
well, there are a number of reasons. Do you want me to go through them all or just give you the first one?
Yeah, I guess take it step by step.
Okay. First off, I'd received a statement from somebody who stated that they had witnessed Mr. K holding a gun up to Jaeger.
Retweet that shit, homie.
I'm sorry.
Um,
Objection to the testimony as vague or confusing. Can she clarify what she means by they? Sorry, I don't understand.
I tend to agree. But
Okay.
rebuttal?
Yeah, well, Your Honor, she's saying she was told by Mr. Svensson.
Yeah.
This was the only statement she collected. So the they was Mr. Svensson who told her that the defendant had held a gun to Jaeger.
Yep, that's fine for clerical reasons.
Thank
We'll
you.
go ahead and say for that last statement that the in reference to somebody was in reference to Mr. Barry.
They
if that
seek
was
Mr.
appropriate.
Svensson. Got it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, sorry. Continue. I believe you're explaining why you felt the need to frisk the defendant.
Yeah. So the statement I received from Mr. Svensson
Oh my god, 2 months in a row. Thank you.
indicated that the person who was in the red vehicle in the driver's seat, Mr. K, had been seen holding a firearm up at Jaeger, like aiming it at Jaeger. So that was the first reason as to why I believed he should have been frisked. And the main reason why I performed that frisk later on.
Okay. Yeah, what were the other reasons, if there were any?
The other reasons? Yeah. Anybody found on the scene of a shots fired call is subject to receiving a GSR test, as well as a pat down of their persons whilst officers are in attendance or medical is in attendance to ensure the safety of all of those on scene.
So why didn't they do that
Okay.
to everybody?
And I just want to clarify. Can a negative GSR test indicate whether or not an individual
I don't
has a
know. That's
gun
what
on
we're
their
gonna harp
person?
on.
No, it cannot indicate that.
Okay.
Wait, hold
but
on.
did
I'm
you
sorry. What? I'm gonna objection and motion to strike on the grounds that it is more prejudicial than probative, and also what's the word I'm looking for? Speculation, highly speculatory.
Your Honor, I think opposing counsel can have to clarify what they mean by prejudicial here. Asking the witness if a negative GSR test can give any indication as to whether or not an individual is in possession of a firearm isn't prejudicial in any way. I'm quite confused, frankly.
It's
as
calling
to
for
how it
then
could be.
I'll withdraw my objection and put a new objection. Calls for legal conclusion. Calls for conclusion. That's the judiciary's job.
Rebuttal.
Well, Your Honor, I'm not asking the witness to come to a legal conclusion. I'm asking her based on her experience as a law enforcement officer, someone that consistently uses these tests and performs frisks, determines whether or not suspects have firearms on their person. I'm asking her if she can determine solely based on a negative GSR test if a person has a firearm on their person. And her testimony was no.
Would you like to you kind of already did rebut to that. I'm gonna close it there.
Sure did.
I understand what's being said here. Little fun background about me. I've been in 2 tours with the Army. Okay, so I know what a GSR test is. I know what that does. I will
don't spoon feed
entertain it. Being on the referenced onto the appeal. Mr. Rami, what did I just say?
I'm gonna go get food. I'm telling her I'm gonna go get food. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah.
He's not leaving, Your
Session's right
Honor. He
there.
will be here for his witness statement.
All right.
I have...
I am aware of what a GSR test does. However, I do want it to be on the record. Since it is going to be on the record, I will allow it just this once. It is
Thank
on
you,
the
Your
record
Honor.
for this one time and this one time only.
Thank you, Judge.
Cool. Yes, you may answer the question.
Yes, Sunding, that is
Okay.
correct. It doesn't make any
Do
sense.
you want to ask the question again?
Yeah. Can a negative GSR test inherently provide you with insight as to if a suspect has a gun on them?
No.
All right, why not?
All right, now I'm going to
GSR
object that this
test-
calls for legal conclusion. You
Yeah,
know
I-
how to do your job.
I know how to do what I'm doing. That is going to be sustained.
Yeah, shut that shit
Really, I'm
down.
happy to move on, Your Honor. All right. Were there any other reasons why you performed that frisk?
It's mainly because of the witness statement I received, but also to ensure safety for those who remained on scene. Those who were there at that time were to be frisked, and any weapons identified.
All right. And just to clarify, did you have a reasonable belief based on your training and your observations and other evidence that you collected that the defendant may have had a firearm on his person?
Yes, I had a reasonable belief that the defendant had a firearm on his person at that time.
All right. And what did you feel from that frisk?
I felt a bulge in his pocket.
Disgusting.
Felt metallic, like a heavy metal
Felt
object.
Wow. And what did that indicate?
It indicated that there could have been a weapon in his pocket at that time.
All right. And based on that information, what did you do from
Your
there?
Honor, I feel uncomfortable.
That is fine. Do you need to breathe in a paper bag?
Yes, please.
Okay. Someone, concessions, please empty one of the water bottles and provide him with a water bottle to be used as a paper bag.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I thought I was being groped too. That's crazy.
Or chip bag.
Hmm.
But I know that might upset Mr. Counselor Ramen. Concessions.
Did you notice she said it was a large bulge?
She did.
Please provide Mr. K with concessions at this time to be used as a paper bag. All right. We may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Could-
Here you go, Mr. K.
Could you repeat what you just said?
Yeah. What did the large bulge indicate?
Yeah, large. Yeah.
That there was a weapon on his possession.
All right. And what did you do after you felt that?
After I felt that, I looked into that pocket to see what that weapon
Nice.
was.
And what did you find?
I found a firearm.
Oh, wow. Okay. What kind of firearm?
It was a PD. It was a PD Glock.
I'll pull up something.
PD. Let me get this straight. You found a police-issued firearm on the defendant's person?
Objection, leading.
He's being smarpy or whatever they said earlier.
On
I think he
smarmy,
is-
but leading.
I think he is being Smurfy. And that is going to be a little bit of a lead.
Motion to
statement.
strike Smurfy from the record.
You're right. You're right. What are the other Smappy? He's being Smappy right now. And I need you to stop being Smappy. And also
I'm
leading.
sorry.
I'm going to sustain that. That was a pretty leading. So what? You found this? That's leading them to believe to a conclusion. You can word that a little bit better. And not be so.
Challenge, can
slimy.
Oliver Hall not lead?
I'm
Failed.
sorry, Your Honor. I just wanted to clarify. It was just so outrageous, the testimony I just heard.
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel's testifying.
Well, I was responding to you,
Counselor
Your Honor.
Thoroughbred, are you trying to murder Are you trying to go for blood here?
Oh, my claws are out and the gloves are off, Your Honor. I am here to defend Mr. K's rights to the full most of my ability. Yes.
America. That's what I'm talking about.
If he exposes his jugular, I will bite. Legally.
You better keep your shoes laced there, Hall, because she is out for blood, and that is going to be sustained.
Oh wow, man! I wish I had a helmet. All right. So officer, let's clarify.
She is out for blood. You can tell. You can tell.
Did you investigate why the defendant had that gun on his person?
I'm sorry. What do you mean by that?
Like, did you conduct an investigation as to why the defendant had that firearm on his person?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, that's a lie.
And based on that investigation, did you find any legal justification or excuse for the defendant to
You
have
said you conducted
PD-issued firearm on
an
his
investigation.
person?
No.
All right. Give me one moment.
Been working out, Benji, have you? I can tell.
Okay, Officer Gray. Is documentation of Mr. K's possessions in evidence?
She's a fighter.
Yes.
Can you point to this evidence for the court?
You know, I would just like to say, this is a really good time where I wish we had a projector in here.
I can't hear her, Your Honor.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
you were
sorry. Do you
also
want me
sprayed.
to?
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
I didn't hear her.
What I'm essentially looking for is at least so the evidence is titled in all the report and docket. Like if you just read the
Yep, you are allowed to read. And yes, I do miss the projector.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted that acknowledged.
Your Honor, I just want you to know I'm innocent. And that's all.
I decide that, sir. I decide
All right,
that.
I know. I'm just letting you know, though, in case.
Hey, we're innocent until proven guilty. That's all. Thank you, Your Honor.
So, the photo in which you can see Mr. K's possessions at that time is labeled Mr. Kebun's possessions. Am I saying that right? Mr. Kebun? Mr. Kebun?
How dare you?
Mr. I'm sorry.
Your Honor,
Kebun,
Your Honor, the
please
witness is
listen.
calling the defendant out his name, which is during Black History Month.
I'm trying to pronounce. What? What did I do?
You want
It's
him on
Mr.
a t-shirt?
Kevin.
What is-
Just Kevin. Just I
Mr.
don't want him to be
Kevin.
called out his
Mr.
name.
Kevin.
Just like that.
Kevin.
There we go.
Just like
Thank
that.
you.
Kevin. All right. All right. Mr. Kevin's possessions. Okay, that's the photo name.
You didn't know.
is the PD Glock
If you
in
don't know
question
the
shown in that
expression,
image?
calling somebody out their name.
Yes, it is.
It is.
What other contents which you can
It's
identify
been
are observed
historically
in Mr. K's
used against people
possessions
without
within this evidence?
Anglican-sounding names to try to Anglicize them. Irish people obviously hate this from the British.
Okay. So I can also identify a knife, a magazine that looks to be loaded. I can see some ammunition there. I'm unsure of what is next to that ammunition, but there is something there. I also had a hot dog, or 4 hot dogs, 4 bottles of water, 2 sets of IDs in his pocket, bandages, phone.
I want it to be known I never received those hot dogs back.
Oh, Mr. K, don't worry. That'll be a civil suit. We'll sue for those hot dogs.
Is the ammunition that you identify compatible with the PD Glock?
Yes.
The state has nothing further, Your Honor, or prosecution, I mean.
Thank you. Prosecution.
9mm ammo fitting
All right,
into any
defense,
9mm.
proceed.
All right. You said you conducted an investigation. How did you do so?
Yes. I notified other officers. I asked other officers if there would be a reason as to why he had that. I also wrote up a search warrant in order to investigate his properties. to see if there was a reason as to why he would have that.
Okay. I'm gonna come back to that, but I'm gonna move on for right now. You said you had pulled over Mr. Svensson in the area.
Yes.
Was this during the time that you were conducting your investigation?
What for Mr. K's possessions or
No, for the entire scene. Like what
for the
purpose were
entire
you
scene.
here, right? Like
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay, was Mr. Svensson GSR tested?
Objection.
No.
Scope. And facts, not evidence.
I'm just talking to her direct testimony when she said she pulled over Mr. Svensson in the area. I'm not sure how that's out of scope when she quite literally testified to that before.
Yeah,
I'll let your
certainly,
honor rule.
Is there a rebuttal?
Yeah, there certainly is. The direct had nothing to do with any tests performed on Mr. Svensson. Additionally, there is no evidence submitted to corroborate the existence of a GSR test. So again, this question would be out of scope because again, it wasn't covered in the direct, and that there is not any evidence submitted to support it.
She did bring up GSR tests and the bulge quite literally in tandem. I'll be quiet now.
Everyone
I'll be
gets
quiet.
GSR'd on a shooting scene.
Okay. In the terms of foundation, yes, it was related. It was not relayed in the direct questioning by any of the questions. However, the scope was then enhanced and brought forward by her previous question. She asked if she pulled over Svensson in the area during the investigation for the scene. Yes, that was answered to. So that's going to be overruled because the scope was brought up a little bit more. And for the evidence that was not submitted, just because the evidence is not submitted does not mean that we cannot make that question. She's not referring to any evidence. Technically, a picture, what you're trying to say is that because there's no picture of the GSR, that means that cannot be asked, which is simply a fallacy. It still can be asked. It just cannot be referred to in any questioning. It may be asked as long as it's relevant to the scope, which it is, because she opened it up with the last question. If you were to object to the previous question,
probably could have gone
and say that how was Svensson relevant, if he was not asked, if Miss Gray was not asked before, she already was anyway.
So pretty much get
so that scope.
You opened up scope for me. You opened up scope wide for me. I was waiting for you to open up scope before I started objecting. That's what I do. Hey, I'm gonna repeat the question just for clarity. Okay. Was Mr. Svensson GSR tested?
No.
Okay. Why not?
I don't have a reason for it.
Okay. Call for speculation. Motion to strike. Answer.
Asking her why she did not do specific actions is not speculatory. It's quite literally her rationale, which is not speculation.
Are you panicking, aren't you? Look at
rebuttal.
Your Honor, the fact of the matter is he wasn't, and then to attempt her to speculate now why at any point he wasn't, we feel it was speculation.
You said it was.
I'll say one thing. If an officer can't articulate why or why not they're performing different actions and throughout the course of their investigation, then we have a huge, huge problem.
Yeah. I'm going
didn't she
to agree
say
with
everyone is GSR'd on a shooting scene? I mean, she said it herself. Just saying.
Thank you, Mr. K. Silence, por favor. Silencio, por favor.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. Sorry. Your Honor.
Calling for speculation. I understand what you're going for. However, she did testify to previously that she said that all suspects in a GSR test, or in a shooting scene rather, are to be frisked and detained.
I know why you don't want
GSR
this, because this
tested.
is reasonable
She's
doubt.
simply asking why not. She's not calling for a speculation as to why that did not happen. It is her direct eyes and ears as to whether or not she was to perform the GSR test, so that is going to be overruled.
Wait, so what was your answer again, last? You want me to answer it again?
Yeah, can you ask me again?
Yeah. Why was he not GSR tested? I believe your answer was I don't know, but
yeah, it was more of there isn't really a reason. It was an oversight.
Okay, it was an oversight. Thank you. Did you witness Mr. K incapacitated? That oversight is huge, and that just fucked you. That's reasonable doubt.
Radio.
Okay. Did
do you mean incapacitated ever, or do you mean inside
like
the
did
car?
you witness him incapacitated on scene?
Oh yeah, I saw him incapacitated. Yes.
Okay. Did he receive medical care?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Did you witness his medical care being interrupted for any reason?
You mean the first response medical care?
Yes.
EMS tending to him?
Yes.
No, I did not witness that.
What about in the ambulance?
Yes, I asked EMS to withdraw him from the ambulance so that I could perform a frisk.
And he was incapacitated at this time?
He was incapacitated. He
From a
had
gunshot
been-
wound?
I believe it was a gunshot wound, yes.
Okay. The witness statement you received, was that ever retracted from Mr. Svensson?
No, he did not retract it.
Okay. All right, thank you. Just one more question. Mr. K was GSR tested and he was negative, is that correct?
Was there an objection?
Oh, she mad.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Proceed.
I was informed he was GSR tested and that he came back negative.
All right, thank you. No further question. Actually, hold on. Give me 1 second. Anything else? Anything else you want to ask her? I'm pretty happy with what I just got.
Oh no!
Just the
there's too much
fact that she
said
admitted,
he-
yeah,
That
they just
Yeah,
introduced reasonable
complete
doubt.
bias and didn't do proper.
No further
investigating.
questions for this witness, Your Honor. We will not be recalling. Thank you.
Will not be recalling. All right. Redirect.
Yeah, Officer Gray, just to clarify, was the frisk necessary to ensure officer and paramedic safety?
While he's incapacitated?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Well, he's
And
down
did
on
your
the ground,
suspicion of the
but not
defendant
anybody
possessing
else.
firearm turn out to be true?
Yes, it did.
Oh my god, but
Go-
nobody
go
else,
ahead.
just the
Ask her if I was
incapacitated person on the
handcuffed, too.
ground.
Go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
Mr. K.
All right,
Just
thank you
saying,
so
Your
much, Your
Honor.
Honor. No
Just
further
saying.
questions.
Hey, Mr. K, I understand that this is your case, and you are very
We need some
passionate
truth in this
about it.
case, Your Honor. You know, this is justice. This is gonna be a staple in this goddamn city here. All
I'm
right? I just
aware.
want to make sure that everyone is treated fairly under the law. And if these people are doing stuff like this, Your Honor, this is bad. This is really bad.
That is fair, and I appreciate your attempt to say
I'm a man of the
to
people, Your
try
Honor.
to allow for that. But it is under my purview.
I'm thinking about our kids, you know?
I
about our
know.
kids.
I'm thinking about your case too right now. It is the
But our
only
kids,
thing on my mind.
you know, I just want to make sure our
children.
kids live
The
a better life
children's.
than we did. Yeah,
We have kids.
yeah, I do.
Mr. K, hold on.
Gary.
Excuse me, Your Honor, real quick.
Mm.
Do not commit adoption fraud right now. Do not commit adoption fraud as your lawyer. They better be biological children.
That I dream about, and it's not real.
Did you
All right.
did you adopt those kids by chance?
No, this is just stuff I dream about. in the
Oh,
future.
okay. In you're like Martin Luther King.
I
You're
plan on
dreaming
having
of a perfect
kids. That's what I'm
future.
saying.
Gotcha.
And
All right.
I believe in manifesting, so it's like, yeah, I have kids. I have kids.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, ungawa to you, brother.
On
All
God,
right.
on God.
Dad?
Miss Gray.
Yep.
Is that the redirect done?
Yeah, both set on redirect. Thank you, Judge.
Perfect. You may step down from the witness stand, and you are not being called for recall, so you're free to proceed with your day. Okay.
Thank you.
Great job, Vivian.
Prosecution. Any other witnesses that you would like to call at this time?
They just introduced so much reasonable doubt with their testimony.
Your Honor, prosecution would like to ask, at which point would you like any summarization of evidence?
Do you have any other witnesses to call?
We have no more witnesses, Your Honor.
All right. Keep in mind that I can read. I know how to see. I know how to think. So do not talk to me about the evidence, in which case I wouldn't already know. if I can see a picture and you're just explaining the picture to me, I'm going to cut you off. Okay?
Admitted under oath that they did not GSR test.
Yes, you may proceed with the summarization of evidence.
Your Honor, well, based on your guidance there, I would just say to
From multiple
we would like to
officers
point to that
for
image
a
of the possessions
shots
and the officer's
fired call.
testimony regarding the compatible ammunition also in his
suspect.
possessions, and the officer would be
Picked
sort of
up was
qualified to
the
answer in that
victim.
regard.
Who was GSR negative.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And with that being said,
We
what would
rest,
you like
Your
to
Honor.
do? What would you like to do?
The prosecution will rest at this time, Your Honor.
All right. The prosecution has
Yeah, they
rested. Do we feel the need to take a time for recess, like maybe a 5-er?
I need food. So yeah, can we just take a brief, like, 2-minute, what's the word for it? Bio break?
Let's take a bio.
Great.
5-minute
Concessions
gospel
will
church
be
break.
available. Huh? What's that? Mary?
They're cooked.
5-minute
They cut-
gospel
they are
church
cooked.
break.
Yes.
Do I even go up there and
if
say
you would
anything?
like to do
I don't think we
gospel
need
church,
to.
will
I was gonna
not
ask you that.
participate
I don't
at
think
this
I need
time,
to
but
put
if
you on
you'd
the
like
stand.
do
I just
some
need to put
gospel,
Rami.
you may.
I don't want.
I think they're fucked.
Did you hear how much reasonable doubt they introduced on their own? We didn't. They literally both, Slacks
when the Lord says
and Vivian, both admitted under
an
oath
option.
that they did not, in fact, detain and GSR test every
some-
suspect on scene. Holy
Let me
shit!
see what I can do here. Let me see what I
Just
can
the
cook
guy
up.
who was
It is up to you, sir.
incapacitated
I wasn't trying to put pressure on.
to a shots fired call and was GSR negative. What the
Lord
fuck?
say get your ass
What are
up.
we
That's
asking
what you
Rami
do.
for
You don't
comment?
just sit down and just think you can't praise the Lord.
Was he
Can we get
with
some fucking
you?
peace and quiet, Johnson?
Did he
Yeah, man,
witness
all
the
these fucking
events?
gaps. Shut the fuck up
when
over
the
there,
Lord
man.
say to get up and praise.
Can we go in the hallway?
I'm asking. Yeah,
Let's go now.
we're just gonna go in the hallway real quick, Your Honor. We'll be right back.
That's what you do. You get up and praise the Lord when it's
What the
time
fuck is wrong
to
with this
praise.
crackhead, bro?
That's what
You know,
you
Max
do.
said he was gonna be here to watch this. Oh wait, put everything on.
But we gonna do a little prayer today. That's more so what I want to do.
Fucking dying.
It is my personal and professional opinion.
Come here to the
I have
waiting
this
room.
in the bag. I mean, listen, Rami screwing this up? No way.
Has a plan for
Well, this works.
I'm worried about Rami saying too much.
Let's wait till everybody gets out of here.
What do you have to worry about? It's Rami. There's
Can
no
someone
way.
get Rami in here so we get this guy
No
on the
way.
scene?
I'm keeping
know
Rami's
he's-
scope super
Okay,
limited.
relax.
when they
You're
start
overthinking
questioning
it's
him-
fine.
No, they're not, because I'm keeping
Sometimes Rami
scope
thinks
so
he's smarter
limited.
than he is and then just
I
goes
agree.
south.
No.
I agree. He can be.
Rami
He thinks he's
handles
slicker.
questioning in intense situations very well. There's
Where
have
is he? Hold
no-
on, let me grab him.
everybody in here don't need to worry no more.
The fucking bias that the PD had towards Mr. K for whatever, he was a completely clean citizen. Like, this was such obvious bias based on the baggage of the past. It's unreal.
Bro,
It's
we got this in the
unreal.
bag, Rami. You can't go up there and fuck this up.
Yeah. So
Rami, there's
it through
no
again.
way you
What do
screwed this
up.
exactly want me to say?
Okay. Let me just ask this. Did you personally
about
witness
the-
the events indicated in the police report in evidence?
Yes.
Okay, as your statement was notoriously absent from the initial police report, can you tell the court what you saw transpire?
Yeah, me and Mr. K were headed to the hospital. We heard sirens go off near that house that's in the report. We live in the area, so we went to go check it out. We pull up, and Mr. K gets shot in the head. And then I get pulled out at gunpoint to get out of the car. I get taken
Hold on,
hostage.
Knife point or gunpoint?
Gunpoint. I'm gonna say they had guns. That's why. I
Yeah.
said that
Guns
on
and
scene.
knives?
Perfect.
Yeah. I said they no, because that gun isn't yours, bro.
Yeah.
We're saying that's theirs. They got planted
Yeah.
on you.
Wait,
we're
I mean,
saying-
you didn't
the
shoot a
one they
gun.
Shot me with is the one they planted on me.
Yeah.
Yes. God, they don't have ballistics on scene. They didn't have
Yup.
any ballistics on
Okay.
scene.
Nope.
So and then I'm gonna say then I say yeah, they pulled me out at gunpoint. Johnson arrived on scene, saw all of them taking me hostage, didn't do anything, and let them drive off. Slacks then I went to go Johnson. I told Johnson those were the guys that were chasing me. Johnson went and attempted to look for them but couldn't find them, and then I went and was seeking help for Mr. K. I pulled them out of the car, and then the cops pulled up on scene. I told them what happened, and they cuffed me and Mr. K up and GSR tested us.
I think you don't have to be exactly and say, oh, the one they shot him with is the one they planted. Just say they planted it on me. Don't get too
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah.
They could
Okay.
add
No,
two.
I didn't say that though.
Alright.
Yeah. I won't.
All right. Then my follow-up question is, what did the individuals? Well, you actually already answered it right there.
If they
but
say it was
if
the
they
car
ob-
yours, I'm just gonna say I don't remember.
Yeah, if they
No,
they
the car,
object to
they
me
got
on
it
Lax
wrong.
Foundation, all right, I'm gonna have to be specific, which is, were you injured? Was Mr. K injured? How is Mr. K injured?
Also, maybe Rami put in the fact that I was cuffed on the ground.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're
No,
gonna
no,
get there.
So
We're gonna get
I'm
there.
gonna say in my
Incapacitated-
testimony.
One more thing.
Yeah.
And the car, what they're saying was stolen. They're saying it's a Tesla. It wasn't. It was a fucking Surge.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah,
point that
yeah, it
out
was a
during
search,
closing. But
yeah.
what happened after Mr. K was injured? And then I'm gonna say I could really use some pizza
Okay,
after
then you
that.
ask that question,
And then
I'll
I'm
say
gonna
no right
ask:
away.
Are incapacitated people able to stop an individual from rifling through their pockets? That's the one you say no
Yeah.
to right away.
Yeah.
And they're gonna object and be like, he doesn't have medical fucking.
Actually, I wouldn't even say the pizza shit. I would just like be like, like clear your throat like a lot, and then
I'll just
know.
I'll just clear my throat.
Yeah.
Like that.
like say it on the second to last question
Yep.
for it. You know what I mean? Then
Yep.
I'll know that your next question is
Yep.
gonna be like no
Yep.
right away.
Yep.
And also I was detained, and he was saying I was combative. I wasn't. Slack said I was combative. I wasn't fucking combative. I was telling him what happened, and then I ran over to the house to tell him that 2 people ran in the house,
Also, you were
and
just,
they didn't say
got
anything.
shot at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
bro.
it's
Yeah.
a stressful
You were
situation.
literally trying
Yeah.
to help them do their fucking jobs,
Yeah.
and they took it as combative because they're whatever bad blood is
Robbie,
there
when you
is.
weren't in there, they say they pulled that Svensson guy over, and Siobhan asked him, "So why didn't you GSR him?" They tried to eject all this shit. The judge shut it down. She said, "I
sorry.
don't know. It was an oversight."
They're just brain dead as fuck, bro.
They literally
honestly.
admitted it was an oversight.
So they didn't and then she said she investigated. Well, apparently you didn't
Crazy.
properly investigate. What's your investigation? Just arresting me and Rami and
Yeah.
searching my properties, finding nothing? What's the investigation?
And you know what's even crazier? You heard what they said. You heard what they said in the beginning? They said Slacks was on the stand and goes, "Oh, the other officer that was on the scene didn't feel comfortable coming to court today." So she or whatever, Ruth bitched out of fucking coming to court today.
Oh, typical.
Svensson
Fuck off,
as an
bro.
oversight.
That's crazy.
There is reason my client
Insane.
cannot be found guilty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here, and if I fuck up, I mean, Kay's gonna kill me.
Oh yeah.
Well, you've been doing amazing, sweetie. He has not fucked up at all.
My one objection was fire. I just want to say.
It was fire.
But
No, it was. It was fire, but it also hurt us.
Okay, yes. Oh, okay, don't say that. It didn't, Kay. I swear it didn't hurt. Kay is.
Well, the
Been
objection would
taking
have.
great
It didn't
notes.
actually hurt. There was no actual impact of pain. It
Yo,
could have.
and another thing that they said was oh fuck, what did Johnson said some shit and fucked it up, but I nobody caught on to it. Oh my god, what was it? Give me a second.
The fact that he radioed it in and they didn't do anything. They said there was a bike on leaving the scene and a white car.
Oh no. Oh,
I'm in-
sorry. Yeah, hold on, hang on. Yeah.
Sorry, hold on. I'm in court right now. I can't answer.
I'd like to place an order for delivery, please.
You know what's crazy? It was Mary Mushkin's statement. Siobhan, you were worried about it. Her statement actually helps us because
It
we
does.
said on scene that Jaeger shot me. She, in her, this is how much of a rat she is. In her testimony, if you read it on the docket, it literally says, she said that we heard shooting go outside and 2 people were shooting on a bike. One of them was Jaeger Demon Blood or whatever she said.
Yeah, bring up the fact that you said.
I'm going to say
Was that-
Jaeger shot.
that
It was
couldn't
Jaeger.
have been
100%. I don't
Penta.
give a
There's
fuck.
no
She
way.
said they had guns.
Yeah,
Plural.
she didn't
Head
say
of the
us.
space boy, yeah.
No, like she's saying there's multiple. You guys searched, no gun.
Yeah.
So where's the multiple?
I'm
guns?
going to say I told Slacks on scene that there was 2 guns on scene. And what they shot both of us on it. They robbed me. They robbed me and Mr. K, and I guess when they were robbing him, they had put the gun on K. I'm not gonna say that, but if they ask me how did the gun get on Mr. K, that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, or if you think it's like a question that could just be like, you're not too sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like I don't recall. It was a month ago. If there's anything like she asked me that's like whatever, I'm
But if
just
you
like
say
I
that
don't
too
recall.
much, can they just say, okay, then we can't trust any of this?
No.
No, but I'm not
I
gonna
would
do that,
rather
though,
you
like-
say I don't recall or I'm not sure, and I don't want to. I want to make sure I tell the whole truth and nothing but the
They
truth. I don't want to
fucked
commit
up, by the
perjury,
way.
so you say I don't recall. That's easy.
They low key fucked up because they didn't question me.
Mhm.
So they don't have like a redirect. They only have a cross.
Good.
Hello, Gabe.
So they're just gonna try to shut down whatever you ask.
No,
Yeah,
our scope
but
is super tight.
The
Well,
only
after this is
problem,
done, right?
yeah.
Like-
I'm actually
So,
gonna
Siobhan,
keep the
as long
scope
as
even
you-
tighter.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna keep it tighter.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
Siobhan, all you need to do because they didn't ask me anything, you
Mhm.
can just only put it. They can only ask me questions within what you ask me.
Yeah, scope.
So that's
I'm
it.
keeping
Yeah.
scope super tight on your questions for that
Yeah, yeah.
reason.
For her voice, I ain't gonna lie, guys. Imagine
Very
waking up
loud,
next.
very loud.
I ain't gonna
Whose
lie.
voice? Abeline's?
I can't.
She got me she was my paralegal in like early January, and she got me a $5,000 sanction by acting a bitch. So I kind of hate her.
Gomer texted me. He goes, "Imagine waking up next to that." Crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Wait, okay, can you guard me? Can you guard me?
Yeah.
I actually, I need to be in my head for like 35 seconds.
Okay, do your thing. Oh, they did.
Well, I think it's a shoe, and there's no way Rami screws up. So, I mean, come on.
Mickey, what do you want me to have the opportunity to do the
No,
funniest
no,
thing?
don't read that. Don't read that.
Sorry, I fixed
What?
Spotify.
Don't read that.
Oh, is it time now? It's time
We're
now?
starting, Your Honor?
Okay, thank you,
So
Your Honor.
sorry, Your Honor. Oh my God, you look even
The
more
hypothetical,
beautiful.
Rami. Don't actually do anything.
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay, let me make sure I'm not
probably
gonna
got a-
like
you
get
probably
fucked
got a
up
nice big cock,
somehow.
huh?
Rami, what is it? You could do so many things.
What is it?
Mr. Moulton, have I cleared those allegations?
There's like no one there though. Is that Tessa? Hi, Tessa.
Too late.
Hello.
I can tell by the way you're walking, Your
Don't go
Honor.
me.
It's for your fine, Your Honor. I know it's you. But
What's up, Zwogs?
I can't believe I'm
What's up,
being
Gengo?
questioned.
Are you
Alright.
being questioned?
Your Honor, we're gonna
What's good, man? It's good.
just as a like point of order, we're gonna recall, what was it, Johnson that we recalled? We're gonna recall Johnson to the stand at this time.
All right, hold on. I didn't bang the gavel.
Chips!
All
Oh,
right,
sorry, my bad.
Are all parties ready to proceed?
Hey!
Gotta go, Your Honor.
Chips!
Chips. Oh,
Take it away there.
concessions. Concessions.
Waiter!
Where the fuck
Oh yeah, I need some chips too.
This dude's on his fucking phone. What is he doing?
Concessions is on a break. This is terrible. Xavier, I should have paid you.
you're not wrong, Your Honor.
You're not wrong, Your Honor.
All right. Can we proceed without concessions at this time?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if they
yeah,
can be
you guys not like
provided when they're available. Who's got wait sessions?
We're here.
Mr.
It's
Aziz
me.
is providing.
Yeah,
for
I can toss
concessions.
it over.
Oh, can you get us some chips? Thank you.
You throw it at me, I will charge you with assault.
You can't charge me with anything. It's
I
okay.
can.
Thanks. All right, I'm gonna share with my client.
Look pretty good, Tom.
He's all low.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is that Jonah Hill? Can we get a Jonah Hill shout out in
I'll
court?
not give this to you.
This is
There's
God.
your bag of
I'm
chips.
posing for
Oh,
my
no.
next upcoming movie.
Damn, what's the
Hill
movie
act?
called?
It's called PD Under Fire, dude.
Damn, dude.
Take the glasses off, man. I can't even see your eyes.
It's my cool. It makes me look cool, dude.
Yo, was that really your dick in Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah,
Damn. I
Damn,
was a big
dude.
fan of War Dogs, man.
You stacking it up?
Yeah, shit was hard.
I got paid a lot for that since I'm 19, dude.
I didn't like your
21 Jump
working you
Street.
people.
How was working with Channing Tatum? How was it?
All right.
We're pretty cool.
Are all council members? Are we ready to proceed?
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
Defense is ready. Prosecution, are you ready?
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right. All right. At this time, we are going to proceed. Damn. We're going to proceed with defense at this time.
All right, defense is gonna be recalling Gregory. Sorry, was that it? Johnson, Mr. Johnson, to the stand.
All right. You have already been sworn in, but the statement still stands on all the pains and penalties of perjury.
All right. Mr. Johnson, thank you very much for staying with us, by the way. I know this has been a while. Just want to thank you for your patience. I just want to go back sort of to our previous questioning when you were under direct from the prosecution. You did witness Mr. K incapacitated and... I'm sorry, let me rephrase. Did you witness Mr. K incapacitated and handcuffed?
Wait, you said incapacitated.
Let me rephrase that for you. Was he on the
Sure, you're
ground, injured, and handcuffed?
To the best of my knowledge, I know he was injured. I believe at some point he was handcuffed.
All right. Does an incapacitated person present a risk to officer safety?
To the best of my knowledge, no.
What could an incapacitated person physically do that could impact officer safety?
By their shoelaces, I'm not 100.
Asked and answered. He said no, Your Honor.
I'll rebut. I literally rephrased the question to ask for a different. It's calling for a different answer from the first question, so it would not be asked and answered.
Rebuttal.
I stand by that. He said no, so asking about what instances that could happen is covered under no.
You know what? No, you know what? Love that. Love what you just said. Can you just say that one more time so I can make sure I understand?
Oh my god.
The answer to your second question was covered under the answer to his first question with no.
So the no incapacitated people don't present a risk to officer safety. Great, I'm gonna go ahead and withdraw. No more questions for this witness.
Wow, thank you so much.
Holy.
Thanks for doing
Where'd Oliver go, guys?
Mr. Johnson.
Oh, there he is.
Does an
hold on. Let me gather myself here. Give me a second.
I know that was a big one, Your Honor.
Doing great, Oliver. Doing great.
There you go. Stand right by the L, Slacks. Perfect.
The L.
Yeah, go take that with you. Hey, Slacks just arrested this man for no reason.
That's crazy. Arresting Xavier is crazy.
What the?
Integrity, by the way.
Trying to pick up. I was trying to pick up
That's what they did to me. That's what they did to me.
Front cuffing.
All right. Well, don't remember Heary, man. Heary, you said it yourself. All right. I've gathered myself. I've drank my water. You may proceed with your cross.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, I mean, you would agree with me that an armed person presents a threat to officer safety?
Objection,
Pause.
scope.
Why are you looking at Mr. K?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that, Your Honor?
I feel
Why are
very
you looking at
uncomfortable
Mr.
and
K?
threatened.
Address the witness and the witness only.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was just looking at a guilty man is all.
Wow! Objection, Your Honor! Innocent until proven guilty! Violation of due process! What the fuck?
Objection! Terrible joke.
Jesus Christ, man.
Ridiculous. This is very serious. Someone's life's on the fucking line here.
Let me make it clear to you, Mr. Hall.
Yes, Your Honor.
Objection, Your Honor. Banter.
What? Who are? Calm down. Who are you? Calm down.
Who are you?
Please.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Let me run my court, man. Thank you, Mr. Hall. You, as a counselor, are to refer to the witness and the witness only. And
Where's Lance?
That
I'm placing
is
a bar
it.
complaint.
You are not to address so much as to address any other person in this room. That is what you are understanding as a member of the Bar Association.
Yes, absolutely, Your Honor. I just want to clarify. I may have been looking in this direction, but I was also testing out the acoustics. I mean, I was addressing the witness with my question.
We don't need an
No, you
audio
are not.
engineer.
Your Honor, I would like to motion to enter Oliver Hall under oath to answer this question, as I do not find his statement to be credible.
You okay, Slacks?
We are going to proceed, Mr. Hall. I do not want to see that ever again. Okay.
Oh, certainly.
As someone who is a counselor of this, you should be well informed.
He's a council
that you are
member?
to be addressing the witness.
No. Council,
that is all you
a
can do on
counselor,
the
like
floor. So
law.
if you are asking a
We're referred to
question
as
on the
counselors
floor,
in the courtroom,
you are
like
to
counselor,
address only
thoroughbred,
the people
etc.
on the floor.
In the words, refer
Absolutely,
to a
Your Honor.
lawyer.
That is,
Noted.
of course, noted.
You may continue with your questioning.
All right, what was the answer to that question, Mr. Johnson?
I'm also. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest right now, Your Honor. I'm going to motion to dismiss with prejudice based on obvious malicious prosecution based on Oliver Hall's statements.
I'd like to also fire a bar complaint against Oliver Hall as well, Your Honor.
Yeah, is Lance Moulton here?
Hey, Rami.
Lance?
Hey, Rami,
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry.
you are one away. You are one
All
away.
right, sir. Of course, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep it in check. All right. To the motion, rebuttal.
Yeah, again, saying that the defendant is guilty is sort of the point of this trial, so I don't know how that's malicious prosecution. It would only be malicious prosecution if we were proceeding with this trial without probable cause, when there is probable cause. The gun was found on its person. So,
Objection. He's
again,
calling
I'm
for a
not
legal
entirely
conclusion
sure.
on what malicious prosecution is when that's your job, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. I think he thinks
Sorry,
he's
I'm
the judge,
rebutting.
Your
I'm
Honor.
not quite sure why I'm being interrupted, to be honest with you.
Your
But,
Honor, I think he's
again-
confused with this position.
Sorry, I think I was still talking.
Mr. K, you are also one away. Do
Sorry,
not
I
talk.
bad hearing. I couldn't hear him still talking, Your Honor. My bad.
Okay. Refocus
Okay.
your hearing. Get that hearing aid something. I need to get it together. All right.
Well, I would like to get you
please
medical,
continue
but
with
it's
your
probably going
rebuttal
to be
since you said you weren't
interrupted.
finished.
Certainly. The defense is just grasping at straws. There is no legitimate basis for this motion to dismiss, so it should be denied.
Rebuttal for that.
I don't just look at the tweets that are going off right now.
Malton, glad you're here, Malton.
Jesus Christ.
Rebuttal for Miss Siobhan.
Sorry, I
Can you
didn't hear.
rebuttal
Can you
to-
say it again? Sorry, I didn't hear because Lance was talking and I got distracted.
Lance.
What was
You
it?
may continue. Yes, please with your rebuttal to the motion, Counselor Howell.
Oh, that was it, Your Honor. I was just saying.
Can you repeat it again for Mr.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There is no legitimate basis for this motion. The defense is just grasping at straws, so the motion should be denied.
Wow. Okay. Defense is not grasping at straws. Defense is doing its job of ensuring due process, Your Honor, is being followed, and calling a man who is innocent until proven guilty quite literally flies in the face of everything about the judicial process and displays obvious bias.
You want me to respond to that, Your Honor?
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I'm going to go ahead and rule as this being more of a heat of passion moment. Mr. Hall, I'm gonna need you to try to remain professional in this court as much as possible. I understand that you have, you have moments.
Strong thoughts.
It's okay to have moments, but I am gonna call you out on those moments, just the same as I will call Siobhan out on those moments. So please refrain from directing your attention away from anybody other than me and the witness. Okay.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Siobhan, that motion is not going to be heard.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But I again want to make it a strong note that both parties are only to be referring to me and the witness that they have called upon. Noted.
Certainly, Your Honor. Absolutely. I just want to say
You
that
notice how Siobhan has
I
not
wouldn't
gone in
dare,
trouble
and
for that
I
once
actually would
because
ask
I
that
know
you
how to
keep
do
me
this.
honest here. I mean, our side's the
If
one
I
with
banter
integrity,
and argue with
so- All right,
opposing
so Mr.
counsel, I do
Johnson,
that with the full knowledge
would you like me to
that
repeat
it's
that question?
not supposed to be allowed,
Yes,
and
please.
it's for funny.
Yeah,
it's for
certainly.
funs. It's for laughter.
Would you agree with me that an individual that's armed
Man, there's so many
presents a
people here for this
danger to
court case. Holy
officers?
shit.
No.
You wouldn't agree.
I would not.
Why not?
Just because the person is on doesn't mean they're dangerous.
All right. Does an armed person present a potential risk to officer safety?
Objection, speculation. Literally said the word potential.
Well, Your Honor.
Rebuttal.
Yeah, I'm not asking the witness to come to a conclusion on any particular facts.
I didn't ask for call. I didn't object on calls for conclusion. I objected on speculation.
As the defense has been doing.
About
whether or not an armed suspect could potentially
keyword
pose
hypothetical.
a risk to officer safety.
Final response for me. Keyword hypothetical.
Yep. You said about 3 different words that could mean speculative answers. You could rephrase it. Just keep it without saying the words could, hypothetical,
Would,
potential.
should.
Any of that could lead to some speculation. All right.
That wasn't my fault. It was on the front of Google.
And now I'm gonna start objecting on scope on everything
Why
at this
would they
point.
put fan fiction on the front?
They cracking under pressure.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further.
I want to re-ask that question.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
No redirect.
Nothing on redirect. All right. Mr. Johnson, you are free to leave at this time. Thank you for your input to the for the hearing today.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
The defense calls Romeo Roman to the stand.
That's my lawyer. All right. Since it's you, Rami, I'm not going to finish eating this pretzel before swearing you in. Raise your left hand, please.
Okay. So let me just take a seat here.
Yeah, go.
Please speak up too. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Speak up, Rami.
Of course.
All right, Rami,
we go.
raise your left hand. Do
Sorry, I
you
have to do my
swear
job so
to tell
hard,
the truth,
Slacks.
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you Buddha.
Yes, I do.
All right. You are sworn.
All right.
Right. Hold on. Pause.
Okay.
Before we begin, Mr. Rami.
Yes, Your Honor.
If that chair breaks on you while you're sitting on it like that, you
Shit,
are
I didn't
paying
even
for
realize that. Hold on. Sorry, Your Honor. Sorry. What, you saying you call me fat, Your Honor, or what?
I did not mention that. That is to you to assume.
Fuck. Who the fuck said that? It was probably Oliver.
That's
It
great.
wasn't
Hey,
me.
who said that?
That
I
sounded
said what I
like that
said.
sounded like
Probably-
Taco.
Oh my
I said what I said.
fucking Taco.
Mr. Taco,
That's rich, Taco. That's rich.
Yes, sir.
do not find yourself in violation of contempt of court. Okay.
Rich beer. Rich beer.
Your Honor,
Alright.
maybe for the peanut galleries awareness, could we have what contempt will be starting at today? Made public for the court's record.
Mm-hmm. If I have to give you more than one warning, or if you continue on past that one warning, let's set the bar at 50 months, $5,000 fine.
50 months, $5,000.
For contempt of court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
If I have to repetitively deem you in violation, you will be sentenced as such. Fantastic.
Oh, for sure. Just,
Just trying to sit.
Stand on business, Your Honor.
Trying to sit in this chair, Your Honor. Sorry.
Does this guy not know how to work a chair, Your Honor?
All right, I'll just stand right here, guys.
All right, speak up, Romy.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Too close.
All right. Sorry. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Did you personally witness the events indicated in Police Report 2026 in evidence?
Yes, I did. Yes, I actually did.
Okay, as your statement was notoriously absent from the initial police report, can you tell the court what you saw transpire?
Yeah.
Calls for narrative. Come on, object to me.
You know, me and Mr. K were
Object on
headed
Wax
over to
Foundation.
the hospital,
Just let me-
and
just
we
let me-
saw.
Objection.
There we
Calls
go.
for narrative.
Holy fuck.
Rebut.
I'm simply asking for him to tell us what he saw on scene per the report in evidence to clarify exactly what the. You know what? It is narrative. I'm gonna go ahead and rephrase. I'll ask a new question. All right.
All right, sounds good. I do want to mention that I see what's happening. That before we had an objection to narrative that went similar to this. However, I do want to also articulate that because she kind of opened up the scope a little bit by mentioning the report reference before, that it is lying some way of narrative. However, I would have recommended that you would have stopped it at least a little bit later on than what you did. You did kind of do early, which is fine. It is still narrative. It's still calling for a narrative, but you could have let that happen a little bit, let it simmer, see what Rami said, and then cut him off at a point. It's all about using your objections in a way that would benefit you, right? All right. So with that being said, that is going to be sustained. You may rephrase.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor. Rami, were you on scene during the events in Police Report 2026?
Yes, I was.
Where were you and Mr. K located during the event?
On scene.
Okay. Were you injured?
Objection. Answer. Vague.
Rebuttal?
Asking if somebody was injured or not is not vague.
Referring to the where were you on scene? Answer. On scene.
Oh, that was already answered too. Too late. That's my rebuttal.
Your Honor, I believe I objected in time for that and motion to strike.
No, you asked
so
a
we're
question
doing
later,
this.
bud.
Wait, this is,
So we're
this,
going-
is this what,
so
is this
are
what we're
we-
doing?
Rami.
Pointless.
Also, do you want to catch diarrhea, sir? I recommend that you stand back. I was just
Actually, I don't
was
mind.
oh.
Jokes on you. I like that shit. Wait, go ahead. Yeah.
Ew.
Okay.
Okay.
Your
are
Honor,
we
motion to strike Rami's last statement.
I didn't want to.
I don't want that on the record. I don't want to think about it.
I said I like that shit.
Yeah, can we remove that?
Sure, I didn't
Thank
write
you.
it down. So are we objecting to the last question, the last answer to the question asked before?
The were
Are we
you
asking
injured
to
or the one before that? Yeah.
The on scene question was
The
the,
on-scene
directed
question.
objection, Your Honor.
Okay, and so what are we? We're objecting to confusing, to vague.
Vague, Your Honor.
Yes, but he can do that. I'll say yes, but the it's not going to be stricken because that's what he said. And I don't find that needing to be stricken from the record at this time. That is going to be sustained. However, it is still going to be put onto the docket past that. So basically, if he said on scene, period.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor. Were you injured on scene?
Yes.
Was Mr. K injured?
Yes.
What did the individuals do to injure yourself or Mr. K?
They shot Mr. K.
Okay. And what happened after Mr. K was injured?
They point.
Sorry to clear my throat.
They pointed guns at me and tried taking me hostage.
Okay. And are incapacitated people able to stop an individual from rifling through their pockets?
No.
Okay. Let me just double check with my client, Your Honor, and my paralegal. I feel like I still need to ask the question on whether or not they went through your pockets.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there anything else you think I need to ask?
Did he ask about like
The
him
motorcycle?
saying shit to the cop? What did he say to the cops? Did he call?
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
the fact that he did tell them like those people shot him and they didn't.
Okay.
They didn't. He tell them they shot him and they didn't detain him.
They didn't do anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that and then nothing more though. Don't let.
I don't want to
Bonnie
open up
overcoach
scope too
that.
much. Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you see any individuals go through Mr. K's pockets?
Yes.
Okay. When police arrived on scene, did you attempt to tell them what had transpired?
Yes.
How did those attempts go?
I told Johnson that these people were taking me hostage and they robbed him and they were going through Mr. K's pockets. Mr. Johnson then went and tried chasing the people that were on because they were on scene still when the cops arrived and they fled the scene. And then Johnson went to go chase them, and then that's when Slacks and Ruth came on.
All right, thank you. So to make it clear, you remained on scene and tried to report what had transpired to officers and other people fled?
Yes.
Okay. We got it. Anything else? We pretty much hit that on the head.
Yep.
All right. No further questions for the witness at this time, Your Honor. We cede to cross.
All right, cross.
Hey, Mr. Rahman, how's it going?
Objection, relevance. Scope.
I can't believe. I can't believe.
I told you, gloves off.
Counselor Thoroughbred, you were just going for blood. These people are not even going for blood on you. This
I know.
Isn't even like a tit for a tat. This
I
is
know.
for a tit.
I'm defending my client to the best of my ability, Your
My
Honor.
life's on the line, Your Honor.
Jesus.
Jesus, I know.
whatever,
She's a
sustain.
fucking brutal right now.
All right, I just want to clarify a few things. So you gave a statement to law enforcement, did you not?
Oh, he loves to lead.
Yes.
All right, and you told him everything that happened, didn't you?
Objection, scope. Also asked and answered? Yeah, objection asked and answered because we already discussed that.
Well, Your Honor, I guess I'll go on both of the objections. Asked and answered per party, and we haven't asked him this particular question yet. And scope, he was already asked just in the prior.
I disagree. I don't think asked and answered should be per party.
Law enforcement, so it would be within scope. And they also asked him about the questioning and the statement that he gave, and asking him if he was, if he told law enforcement everything that happened, would just be an expansion upon any previous question that was asked. So this particular question hasn't been asked.
You're whispering.
Your Honor, I can't hear you.
Oops, rebuttal.
Rebuttal is that no, in the interest of expediency, given that we generally have a witness limit for cases, so that things do not last 9 million years, I do not find that the idea that asked and answered is per party rather than per witness to be credible or accurate. And I will maintain that objection. I will, however, withdraw the scope one, but I will keep asked and answered in the interest of expediency with which the way that we do law in Los Santos.
Okay, I'm actually a fan of that argument. I want to say first, I
Damn,
am a
she's
fan of that
spitting.
argument.
Yep.
We want to try to expedite things as much as possible.
That's right,
This case has already
bitch.
gone on for 2.5 hours. We still have a couple of defendants to go through, or a defense witness to go through. However, I do believe that the scope was already kind of enhanced, even though that was objection. I do believe that it was
Yeah.
enhanced with the prior question.
That's why I withdrew it.
And then the asked and answered, I do want to see. So I will overrule it to a certain point. I will give you a cutoff point. How about
Thank you,
that?
Honor.
Thank
I
you,
will
Your
give you
Honor.
a cutoff point for that. So go ahead and ask the question again and then answer.
Sure. Now, Mr. Araman, you told law enforcement everything that happened. Isn't that right?
He loves to lead.
Yes.
And they fully wrote down their statement, did they not?
No.
No. We'll get
No.
into that. I want to ask you. So, where were
You did a
you
really good job of opening
when the
scope.
shooting took place?
Objection scope.
Rebuttal.
Yeah, so the questions that were asked on direct had to do directly with the scene. And the witnesses already testified that he was with the defendant at the time. So asking him where exactly he was when the shooting took place would be within scope.
Rebuttal.
Oliver tried to object to this line of questioning before, so I'm really confused as to why he's trying to go down it now. It's really confusing.
I feel uncomfortable, Your Honor.
Thank you for feeling uncomfortable. I'll say I get the argument. I get the argument that's being made. You're trying to get this down on his line of questioning as opposed to any other questioning because he is in direct purview. You want it to get straight to the source. I am going to overrule because I also want to get down to the source. And I do think the scope was opened a little bit when he did talk about shooting of K. Was he injured himself? Was who else was shot? Him saying K.
It's
that
fine.
was answered in the private.
It doesn't actually hurt us.
And we are treating this as a per.
But I am
witness
fucking with
thing, not a
Oliver
per
right
party
now.
Thing. So I will open up the scope a little bit and allow this.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep,
Your Honor, you need to repeat that question for you, sir?
You always thank the judge for their ruling.
Certainly. Where were you when the shooting took place?
On scene.
Where on scene?
Why were you on scene? Damn it! Sorry.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, where on scene?
Say I don't recall.
In front of the house.
Oh.
Okay. And how did you get there?
Of a car.
All right. What car did you drive there in?
I don't recall, actually.
All right. Were you ever in that red vehicle on scene?
I don't remember.
Okay. And how did the defendant get there?
Car.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm actually going to object on confusing when he says there. Where is he referring to now? And
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, what does he mean? Get there? Where? Like the red car? Another car? What car? I'm confused.
I don't need to hear
He
arguments.
said he doesn't
for this.
remember
You
what car.
You can clarify this. I don't need to hear arguments that will be sustained. Just tell me where.
How did the defendant get to the scene?
In a car.
Which car?
I don't remember. We were in a car. I don't fucking remember.
You were in a car? Did you drive there with the defendant?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, did you drive there with the defendant?
No, I did not drive. No.
Okay. All right. And so you were in front of the house when the shooting happened.
All
is
right,
that
I know
right?
he's allowed to lead, Your Honor, but I'm going to object that he has not asked a single question that is not leading.
Your Honor, I can ask all the leading questions I want, is my rebuttal.
Who said that? Rebuttal?
Literally, it is every single question leading. It is mind-numbing. Also, I'll throw in one more objection. He's being argumentative.
I'll tend to agree with the leading.
I tend to agree with the
say that
leading.
you can lead and cross.
Doesn't mean you should.
However, can means that you also have the ability to get objected upon it. And you have asked a total of 10
leading questions
I'm not
in a
counting
row.
right now. You asked a lot of questions that were pretty much leading, which I understand where you're trying to get to. Let's try to cut it off at some point. Let's try to make it a more roundabout question, okay, as related to scope. So I understand what you're going for. You answered a lot. You got a lot there already. I'm going to cut you off there. That is going to be
Yeah,
sustained.
certainly.
No
I'm not
more
gonna move
leading.
on. What's your relationship with the defendant?
Objection, relevance.
Rebuttal.
Relevance.
Oh, also scope.
Certainly.
Sorry, I'm gonna say relevance and scope. Sorry, apologies. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I
Just
don't
wanted
need to
get
hear an
both out there.
argument on scope.
Yeah,
That was
you're
not
right.
asked in the questionings, in the direct questioning.
I'm sorry. Would you like me to respond, Your Honor? I'm sorry. I didn't quite
No.
understand.
I don't need to hear anything about that. That was not in scope. Period. Nothing about relationships between individuals were asked in the direct. If you wanted to ask that question, you should have called him as a witness.
Get fucked. Too late.
Okay, certainly, Your Honor. All right.
Court
And
TV
let me-
is so
let me
much
say
like a
this. If you can
sports
find
game.
another way
Jesus.
to get there, try to do that, because I assume that you had a major part of your questioning as it related to that. However, I suggest that you try to get somewhere with
I
that
kept
if you are still
scope
trying to
really
get
tight
that.
on purpose and didn't
All right.
ask
Did you
these
see the defendant
questions.
get shot?
Yes, I did.
All right. How did you feel once he got shot?
It's fine.
Scared for my life.
All right. Were you upset that he was shot?
Objection, relevance.
Rebuttal.
Yeah, certainly, Your Honor. I'm getting at the witness's feelings and relationship to the defendant. So asking him his response to how the defendant was shot certainly is relevant in respect to the witness's credibility, which is what I'm getting at.
Wow, I'm gonna add an scope objection then.
Well, you want me to respond, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly within scope. The questions that I just asked laid a proper foundation to expand the scope, and asking him a question about the scene and how he felt about the scene, experiencing it, is within scope.
One final response. Facts don't care about feelings.
And that's facts, Your Honor.
On
That
Undead
is facts.
Stelio.
However, feelings can care about facts, or feelings are relevant to facts. When we're talking about the statute of mens rea specifically, about motive, about
is true.
questioning why somebody did something, that is all about feelings.
That is true. Good job.
That is pretty.
We got it.
Relevant here, and I think the scope was broadened when he asked before in the prior question, which wasn't argumented to, or which wasn't objected to, which he asked how did he feel about the defendant being shot. I feel like this is a great opening for him to open to what was objected before, and I'm going to allow it.
All right, I'm gonna throw in one more objection then. Compound question.
How did you feel about the defendant getting shot? I don't think that's a compound question, Your Honor.
Oh shit, you guys actually right. I misheard what he said initially. That was my bad. I'm gonna withdraw.
That is the first time I've heard compound question in this case, and I've heard maybe
So
about
many? I got
10.
away with so many.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that is going to be overruled. You may ask him the question again.
All right, do you need me to repeat that for you, Mr. Aram? Of
course.
Certainly. How did you feel about the defendant getting shot?
Well, like any normal human being, you see somebody get shot, you get scared for your life and fearful.
Were you upset that he got shot?
No, that's right. You did ask him if he was upset.
Yeah, anybody who gets shot, if you take joy in that, you're a fucking psychopath.
Okay. And were you upset because of the relationship you had with the defendant?
Whoa. Okay. At this point, I am going to again. I'm gonna object on scope and relevance. Also badgering.
Rebuttal.
Yeah, I think it was scope, relevance, and badgering. I don't know how that's badgering. Asking him if he was upset because of his relationship with the defendant. I don't know how that's badgering. I'm not being abrasive with this witness. I'm trying to understand his point of view. As to relevance, again, the credibility of this witness is inherently relevant in this matter. And his relationship, particularly as the attorney of the defendant, of course, lends some question to his credibility, which is what I'm getting at here.
Wow.
And the scope has been opened.
Rami, wait 1 second.
And the scope has been opened because I'm asking him questions related to how he felt about the defendant, and again, expanding into his relationship and why that relationship affects his feelings toward the defendant getting shot. is within scope.
All right, I got one response, Your Honor, just one. All right. Rami is a certified member of the Bar Association, and he is not on trial here. If Mr. Hall wants to proceed down this line of questioning, and try to fuck over, sorry for my language, Your Honor, try to screw over another member of the Bar Association to destroy their credibility on the stand, then we might as well not have lawyers in Los Santos, and that this is highly prejudicial. There's no standing for it, and it's also just unprofessional.
Yep, that's fact, and that's facts, Your Honor.
Can I respond, Your Honor? There was another objection.
He treated me the same way he
prejudice.
treated Murphy, Your Honor.
Oh, damn.
Go ahead. Go ahead and respond.
Thank you. Yeah. So as far as the defendant's or the witness's career, rather, asking him questions about
Where's Lamb?
again whether or not he is credible based on his relationship to the defendant, that's not going to inherently destroy his career. But working and being employed by the defendant would certainly be motive to lie for him on the stand. Now we're not at that point.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Well, we're going to get to that, sir. And there's a pending objection.
The lines.
But,
No, she
as I was
already
saying-
objected to it. She already objected to it, and it got sustained.
As I'm saying, the relationship between the witness and the defendant, again, being an attorney-client, is definitely relevant to his credibility, and that's what I'm getting at.
All right,
So
then
you're
I'm
literally
gonna.
discrediting me
Okay,
on trial.
and this
It's literally
point,
exactly
at
what she
this,
just said.
Rami,
Fuck.
Rami.
Well, Your Honor, my
Rami.
integrity and my job here is at risk, Your Honor. I'm not going to
Integrity.
sit here and have
Integrity.
Slax's lapdog come at me and try to question my integrity.
Hey, Rami, answer me this. When we were just talking about, you just referred to Slacks, actually. When Slacks was up on the stand and we were talking about his credibility, he said hero, whatever. Was that ever put into question? Did he need to respond to that? Did he need to respond to that personally?
I'm gonna be real. I don't know what the hell you just asked me. But it's
When he was talking about his integrity and that he was being not gonna lie, he was being laughed at for what he said about his integrity
Right.
and his
But-
honesty and all
right.
that. Did he feel the need to clarify upon that?
Yes, he needed to because he's on the prosecution. I'm a victim in this situation as well.
I'm just going to point out this time, Your Honor,
But
that
you're
Rami
not
is a
alone.
witness. He is not a defendant in this matter.
This is a victim statement as well as a witness statement.
And
Neither
I-
people. What I'm trying to get to is that neither people were on trial, so neither comments needed to be heard. So I'm going to put it into the same purview as how we treated Slacks is how we're going to treat you, Mr. Rami. I'm a fan of everybody getting the same treatment. If Slacks got laughed at for his hero, whatever, we're gonna laugh at you for your credibility of the bar. However, that does not
all
respond
right.
to the objections
fair.
being stated.
That is fair.
Relevance. We had like 4 different objections. Give me a second. Relevance, overruled. Scope, overruled. Prejudice. This is the one I'm going to focus on. Prejudice. I do agree with Counselor Thoroughbred.
Thank you.
Rami's not the one on trial here. We're not
More prejudicial than probative.
subjected to putting his credibility under any.
That's why I
stand
threw
view
out
here.
4.
I do see where Mr. Hall is coming from. However, I do not think it's sufficient enough at this time. I think not only was he, again, this was not direct questioning. This is not put into his direct questioning. This was cross as it relates to the questions that were asked beforehand by Mrs. Thoroughbred. Sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
always
It's
gonna say
okay.
that.
It's okay. You'll get used to it. I still fuck up sometimes too, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yeah, by Miss Thoroughbred. I do not think that at this point we need to go any further with that. If you wanted to ask that line of questioning, you should have done so and
As-
called upon him as a witness.
Yup.
So I'm going to
Yup.
sustain an objection. That question, those types of questions will not be asked.
You can't destroy his
I'm
credibility.
happy
I
to
just
move
got you
on, Your Honor.
fucked.
Yeah, so let's clarify a little bit. You said that you saw some things like these individuals trying to kidnap you, search the defendant and put something on him. Where was the defendant at that point?
That was like 5 questions. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, where was the defendant located when these kidnappers were rummaging through his pockets?
In the car.
He was in the car, and was he in the driver's seat?
Don't remember.
Okay, and where? Well, first off, can you describe the individual that was rummaging?
Yeah, it was Jaeger,
No, this is
Mary
helpful.
Mushkin, actually Barry Svensson, and then 3 other masked individuals.
Did all of them do it, or was it one individual rummaging?
I don't know the one that was rummaging. They split up and kidnapping me and going through Mr. K's pockets.
Okay, and
It was
where
a
were
group
you at
collective
that
effort.
point?
I was getting taken hostage.
Okay, where on the scene were you getting taken hostage?
I'm just gonna ask him.
I had a gun pointed to me, and I was out on the sidewalk and getting escorted into their car.
Okay, so you were facing away from the red.
No.
vehicle.
Objection, Your Honor. Mischaracterization of testimony.
I don't need to hear a rebuttal on that. That's I just don't like that line of questioning.
Yep,
That's going to
get
be
fucked.
sustained. Just
I-
'cause I
What
don't like
the?
that.
You had a fly on your back. I had to take care of it.
Mickey just saved my life. Sorry, Your
Are
Honor.
you okay?
I'm okay.
All right, Mickey, don't punch her.
Or if you got chips on you?
All right, yeah, I don't like that questioning. Just try to do it a little better. I know what you're going for. Try to do it better.
Yeah, I certainly can try, Your Honor.
Try your best.
So, Mr. Araman, if you can clarify, what individual was holding you up?
Now I gotta hit you once back, Mickey. So we're even.
You just asked me the same question. I already told you.
But not now.
But can you repeat your answer?
Yeah, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, what specific individual, if you can describe them, was holding you up?
Objection, Your
At
Honor.
the
Asked and
sidewalk.
answered.
It was a group effort.
Rebuttal.
Well, the witness's testimony was that the 3 individuals were all splitting up, doing their own sort of thing on the scene. So asking him specifically who was holding him hostage is not a question that's already been asked.
I'm gonna object on his rebuttal, the mischaracterization testimony. He said there were 6 individuals, 3 he could name, 3 who were in masks. I thought it was very clear from his testimony.
Okay. I agree with Miss Thoroughbred on that notion, as that he specifically said Jaeger, Barry, Mary, and that 3 other were masked. However, I do want to hear this specifically, and I don't think it was a mischaracterization of evidence, or it was asked and answered. That any individual specifically was holding him up. So I'm
Thank
going
you, Your
to
Honor.
overrule. Please answer the question.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You asked a question again?
Yeah, I'm happy to.
We're just
What
fucking tilting
specific
all over
individual?
right now.
Please provide a description of the individual that was holding a gun to you.
Yeah, Mary Mushkin and Jaeger or Kane Larp, whatever his name is.
Okay.
And they
Alright.
weren't masked.
Okay, I gotcha. And so while that was happening, I guess I just want to clarify. So where was the individual rummaging through the defendant's pockets positioned?
He's helping our case. Oliver is helping our case. I'm
At
gonna
the
let this
car.
line of questioning happen.
Were they inside the car?
Oliver is helping our case. I'm just gonna let this line of question happen. He's helping
I
us.
don't recall actually, but yeah, they were on him and they were going through his pockets, rummaging through his pockets.
So you can't recall where they were rummaging from. Is that right?
Objection, Your Honor. Weird. Other objection. Let's keep the mechanics to Mosley's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and say
Bitch.
weird.
I was waiting for that one.
Bitch.
Yeah, let's try to Hall. Let's try to keep the rummaging to what we can see. Okay.
No, listen, I hear you, Your Honor. I'm just trying to figure out where the person was and exactly who they
We've
were.
already established that 5 times.
Your
already.
Honor, I don't believe objection weird is on the list of sheet of objection I got. Can you tell me what that is?
Weird is what happens when we find something that we don't like, that we just get a little
That's a judicial
Oh, I see.
objection.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right.
Wait,
yeah,
could
you
you
can
fry
rephrase that though. I think you can rephrase that, and you can make it into a not weird argumentation.
That's
but
very
that
kind
one
of Jackson. He's being
specifically
really
is
nice.
Okay, certainly, Your Honor. So, Mr. Araman.
I hate it when people try to make mechanics arguments in court. I'm like, stop ruining the immersion. Shut the fuck up. This is
All
roleplay.
right, so what happened? Let me get this straight, if I'm understanding you correctly.
You seem confused a lot.
I appreciate that commentary. Why did the kidnapping fail?
Because the
Objection.
cops-
Okay, never
what?
mind. I'm just gonna object on speculation. How can he know what the kidnapper's mindset was? He was not a kidnapper. And why they made the decisions they made.
Your Honor, I'm not asking him to delve into the mind of any of the kidnappers. I'm
How else would he
asking him,
know?
based on what
Why
he
did it fail?
observed, why the kidnapping failed. I mean, he can. Again, he was a witness to this. He saw exactly what happened, so he can testify to why they stopped kidnapping him and what they did instead.
Objection. Ramiel Rahman is not an expert kidnapper. Therefore, he would not necessarily know whether someone was successful